The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Today, we're going to talk with former Jets head coach and current ESPN NFL analyst, Rex Ryan. Sexy Rexy joins the show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man. This is the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Before we get started, make sure you are subscribed to this channel and you like this video. Reminder, I'm hosting the morning show on ESPN New York all week long, so I'm back at it tomorrow at 6 a.m. until 10 a.m., and Jets linebacker Jamian Sherwood will join me at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. Listen on 8:80 a.m. or the ESPN New York app. Now, as you see in the title, it says Rex Ryan interview. Here's the deal. Rex Ryan came on the radio show I hosted this morning and made headlines when I asked him point blank, do you expect to interview for the Jet coaching job? And Rex responded accordingly. What I'm going to do for everyone out there right now is play the full conversation from this morning, come back, react to it, and then we're also going to be joined by Andrew Fialkow of Jets X Factor. So it is a pre-taped interview, but it was live this morning. So Rex first, then reaction, and we'll talk with Andrew Fialkow about everything going on with the New York Jets. But without further ado, let's right now listen into my conversation with Rex Ryan from this morning's DiPietro and Rothenberg program on 880 ESPN New York. It's time right now for the Rex Ryan Report, brought to you by Infinity. Rex, it is an honor to get a chance to speak to you this morning, and I speak on behalf of every single Jet fan out there. We miss you, man. I mean, my God, do I got to start with that after yesterday.
Yeah, you know what? I think you do. I'd be honest with you, but hey, hopefully good. Better things are down the road here for this franchise. That was an absolute beatdown yesterday, and certainly, doesn't represent the fan base and what this team stands for. I mean, this team's always been about fighting and going back to the early AFL days, and there was no fight yesterday, so it was an embarrassment.
Unfortunately, as a Jet fan, Rex, I've seen a lot of bad football since you left. I've seen a lot of bad coaching. I have never seen a team, though, that is more undisciplined than this Jets team in 2024. 16 accepted penalties yesterday. You had 5 personal foul penalties. As a former coach, as an analyst, when you watch this team, how is it possible that a team could just be that undisciplined this late in the season? It's the same thing every single week, seemingly.
Yeah, right now the focus is on the individual instead of the team, and that's what it looks like to me. And that's why the next coach that gets in there, it's got to be about the team, and that's where all the focus needs to be. And right now the selfishness out of you mentioned 5 personal foul penalties, 16 penalties in all is unacceptable. And obviously, you're more focused on your individual fulfillment than you are the team success. And I know when it snowballs like that, I mean you're getting your brains kicked in and things, but that doesn't show fight. That shows just the absolute opposite of that. That this is a team sport, and right now a team playing like a bunch of individuals. No wonder you've won 4 games.
How much of that falls on the head coach in your experience, just setting the tone for the rest of the team, holding guys accountable? Like, to my knowledge, Rex, the Jets have yet to pull a player off the field all year that's committed a dumb penalty or made a brutal mental error. Like, how much of that is coaching? How much of that could change potentially if someone like you or someone that actually knows what they're doing is running the show?
Well, I mean, you're either coaching it or allowing it to happen. So I think 100% of it does. And, look, hey, this is a game that these players are, there's a lot of lead. You got to have lead in your pencil to play this game. But you need to focus your thing about, like, your fundamentals, your technique, all these type of things. And the lack of discipline is brutal. There's no question about it. But it's the thing that I don't know. I don't see the attitude. I don't see the mentality, and that's certainly going to change if I take over.
Rex Ryan joining us here, DNR, Jake Asman, in for the guys. I know you've talked about this job, Rex. Obviously, I think a lot of Jet fans out there would love to see you back. Have you had any communication yet with the Jets during the process? Do you believe you'll get a chance to actually sit down and get a chance to interview for the job?
I believe I will. But no, I have not had any conversations with anybody within the organization, but I believe I will. Well, look, they're not going to bring anybody in, I'm sure, until after the season's done. And then, this is the way Woody has always operated. And, we'll see what happens, once the season's over.
You said something last week when you were on with Dave and Rick when they asked you about, some of the, alleged involvement of Woody in that story that came out in The Athletic, that, this previous regime had every opportunity to turn it around, and they did it. And I agree with you. Like, I look at it like this as a Jet fan. Multiple things could be true, right? When you lose, ultimately, the owner's going to get blamed, and that's fair. That's justified. The team hasn't made the playoffs since you were there in 2010, but who's counting? But at the same time, Joe Douglas was 30-64. Robert Saleh was 20-36. They shouldn't be absolved because, Woody Johnson was frustrated and he might have meddled, allegedly. Who knows what's even true? I get so frustrated as a fan when people want to just blame everything on the owner because, I mean, you could speak to this. When you were the head coach and you were working with Mike Tannenbaum, did you ever have any issues with Woody Johnson not letting you be able to do your job the way you wanted to be able to do it?
No, absolutely. Woody, look, I've been in this league a long time and been around the game a long time. I can tell you this about your owner, all right? This man wants to win, period. And he provides you the opportunity to win. How? He opens up the checkbook. He allows you to do your job. And to me, that's what he does. And right now what I'm seeing is a bunch of guys that are making excuses that have been shown the door and still have connections in the media, and they try to get things out, plant different stories. And basically they're trying to blow Woody's candle out to make theirs brighter. Well, guess what? They look like I don't even know how to describe it. Because to me, I know for a fact that Woody Johnson, all he wants to do is win. He provided this football team with everything you asked for, and you came up short. End of story.
I mean, I don't think Woody Johnson's telling Joe Douglas, hey, take Mekhi Becton over Tristan Wirfs or take Zach Wilson and, move on from Sam Darnold. It just the whole thing just drives me nuts, Rex. And, as someone who hasn't seen any modicum of success since you were there, I'm definitely pulling for you. And if you got this job, I would be pumped up. So I definitely want to put that out there as a huge fan of yours. But as we go around the league and we talk with Rex Ryan here on DNR, I think the other team in town, they win a game, and the Giant fan base is going nuts as if they lost the game because of what it did for their draft positioning. Can you try and talk Giants fans and our guy Dave Rothenberg off the ledge after that win yesterday?
No, I can't, because I get it. As a fan, I certainly understand. You want that first pick. You want to get the quarterback that you hope can change this franchise and bring it back to being an elite football team, and so I get the fans, their frustrations, like, oh, we're sitting right there, why the hell are we winning now? But as a coach, you want to win. I don't care, and whether and Brian Daboll, there's no assurance, certainly no assurance that he's coming back, or the GM or whatever. In fact, there's probably a 99% chance that they're not coming back, but they're trying to win. Their football team's trying to win, and for once they actually made some plays. So this was a huge win for them. And look, they'll probably win next week because they're going to play against Philly, and they'll probably won't play anybody. So, hey, they're on a 2-game roll, man. Do you still believe in ownership? Or not ownership, but the general manager and the head coach? You like that direction you're taking? See, I certainly don't. I mean, you just let. By the way, the kid you let walk out your building just rushed for 2,000 yards this year. So to me, you talk about, where everybody's focused on slamming the Jets organization. How about slamming the Giants organization? Because that's about as bad as it gets. You let one of the classiest young men out of your building, the guy that represents you off the field as well as he does on it, and by the way, he just rushed for 2,000 yards, and you let him walk out the door. And so to me, there better be a brand new start over there. And I understand, the organization. You're going to bring in a new quarterback and leave the same coach there and the same deal. Well, how'd that look in Chicago? How'd that work out in Chicago? How'd that work out at different places? I don't believe that's the way to do it.
Rex Ryan joining us here on DNR. Jake Asman in for the guys. Rex, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about what Sam Darnold's done with the Vikings. Another spectacular performance yesterday. They're 14-2, and now they're going to be playing your son's team, the Detroit Lions, for the number 1 seed on Sunday night. Game number 272 next week. Your thoughts on what the Vikings have done and that potential matchup now next week for the number 1 seed of the NFC?
Yeah, I think it's crazy. I mean, you're going to get both teams are going to be 14-2, and yet, one team's going to get the first round bye and host, games all the way through until the Super Bowl, and the other one's got to go on the road and play that week. So it's crazy. It's such a huge game. The NFL is certainly getting what they wanted. Two of the best teams in the league will have to go at it. I just think, though, that right now Detroit's limping in. Now they have nobody healthy on defense. Now, I will say this. It'll be a shootout. This will be a fun one to watch because Detroit lights up every team they face, including Minnesota. I think every single time they face that Brian Flores defense, they've hung up over 30 points on them. So I would not be shocked if we don't see a 45-40 some game. I think it's going to be a great one.
Rex, really appreciate you jumping on. And once again, it's an honor to talk with you. Some of the best years of my life rooting for the Jets are because of you. So great to get you on this show. Appreciate you hopping on. Happy holidays, happy New Year, and all the best to you. Hopefully you get that opportunity to interview for this Jets coaching job, and we'll see what happens. Wishing you the best.
Well, I appreciate it, Jake, and it certainly wasn't because of me. It was because of us, and that's what they got to get right this time.
Amen. And whether you're pro bringing back Rex or not, you cannot deny the fact that he loves the Jets and he cares. And I promise you, this team's not 4-12 if Rex is coaching them right now. No chance. Tomorrow, back on the radio starting at 6. Former Mets manager Terry Collins joins me at 7:35. Entourage star Jerry Ferrara joins me at 8:30. And you heard me say it right before I played the Rex interview there. Jets linebacker Jamie Sherwood will join me at 9:30. So I got 3 great guests to get you started on New Year's Eve. And we got another great guest joining us right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello to Jets X Factor's elite film guru, Andrew Fialkow. Andrew, happy New Year's Eve. Welcome aboard, my man.
Yeah, am I frozen right now? It looks like I'm frozen. Oh, there we go.
There you go. You froze like the Jets defense did in the second half.
I was gonna say, man, that's a tough guest lineup to follow up on. I mean, Jamie and Sherwood and Turtle from Entourage. It's tough, but yeah. Well, do you know what's funny, Jake? So this morning I got on Twitter and I was like, holy crap! Like Jake really, you broke this news. I mean, we got to give credit where credit's due. Obviously, Ian Rappaport, who has 5 million followers on Twitter, used Jake's tweet as he quote tweeted you. I'm sure you saw. So I just wanted to say that's awesome. Really cool stuff.
Yeah, it went everywhere. I knew when he said it would be a big deal. So I tweeted it out, and then Rap Sheet confirmed it that Rex is going to be a legitimate candidate. Not saying he's going to get the job, but you saw the Jets today interview Ron Rivera. Why not? If you're going to try and hire guys with previous experience, and you could talk to people that aren't with teams, I have no issue with the Jets interviewing as many people as possible. So look, I don't know if Rex is a legit candidate as far as he'll be a finalist and could actually get this job, but I think he deserves an interview. I'm not saying you just hand him the job or it's even a courtesy interview, but let's call it for what it is. This team has done nothing since the last time he was the head coach. And if he comes in with a real plan for an offensive staff and a real vision on what he wants to do, hear him out, because He understands the market. He understands how to win. And I'd give Rex a serious opportunity. I know there's some who want, maybe like the trendy coordinator again, but not me. I want experience. And if I can't get a Mike Vrabel or Brian Flores, Rex Ryan is going to be right near the top of my list because at least I know he cares. At least I know he's dying to get back in. And he's talked openly about how much he's learned from his last go around as a coach. And I'm all for giving Rex a legit opportunity to interview for this job.
Yeah, I mean, I think he will get an opportunity. Again, it's going to be interesting to see what the timeline is, whether the GM's in place first or the head coach is in place first, because it would be interesting if Rex was the head coach before the GM was in place. I'm not sure how that would go then, if he would have like a say in it. I'm sure he would have some type of say if he's the head coach first. I really think, like you said, it's so important. Whatever staff Rex would bring in is like pretty much like the make or break it for me, at least. I mean, that's kind of the thing with a lot of these guys. It's the supportive staff that they're going to bring in. And obviously Rex isn't a guy that has ties. Like, let's say when we were bringing in Saleh, he was able to bring in a couple guys from the Niners to like Mike LaFleur was brought in and stuff like that. So I don't know who Rex is still friends with around the league, who he's going to be able to bring in and say like, hey, would you want to be the coordinator? Would you want to be the pass game coordinator, run game coordinator, QB coach? It's hard to fill a staff when you're not a current coach. So that's another question. I think he deserves an interview. I mean, they're interviewing Ron Rivera, which I'm not the biggest fan of. But again, it's going to be an ongoing process. I do think Vrabel will get an interview in the next week, though, and then you got to think some things are going to start moving quickly, I believe.
Hey, Mike Vrabel. Let's go, Woody. Back the Brinks truck up. And let's get into Mike Vrabel because you bring him up. Now, I was under the impression his contract with the Browns would not end until the regular season was up, like basically every other coaching contract out there. That is not the case. Adam Schefter was the first to report that Mike Vrabel's consulting agreement with the Browns actually expired today, meaning that the Jets and anyone can request an interview with Mike Vrabel. You don't even need to request it with the Browns. You could just call him up and say, hey, we want to interview you. So if I'm the Jets, let's go, man. Make this guy say no. As much as I love Rex and respect Rex, Rex hasn't coached in the NFL since 2016. Mike Vrabel has been a successful coach just a few years ago. To me, Andrew, he's my number one target. I believe he should be the number one target for the Jets themselves. Your thoughts on Vrabel and the fact that as of today, he's allowed to speak with any team if he so chooses.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. I just guess that the Browns had something in the contract where they would let him off a week early, or maybe they just let him go because the season's over. I'm having a tough time with who is my top choice, who I really want to be the Jets head coach. And I feel like I understand some people that are like so set on a guy or not set on a guy. And like the only thing we could go on is their past resume. And Vrabel's a winning coach. He's made the AFC Championship, the divisional round, and then the wild card round. They made the playoffs 3 years in a row with a team you wouldn't think would make the playoffs. Again, the AFC South was a bit weaker then, but they won the division 2 years in a row with Ryan Tannehill as his quarterback. So, I mean, that says a lot. It's tough because I want to go back to when Saleh got hired, and I wasn't very knowledgeable on football like I think I am now. So I was ecstatic about it. I thought he was this cool energy guy from a team that just made the Super Bowl. He had a lot of like easy things for the casual fan to be excited about. So now I'm just trying to be like a little bit more thoughtful in the process. I do like the idea of hiring a guy like Liam Cohen or a guy like Joe Brady. I just think that both of those guys, to me, what they've done in a league that's extremely important to be like good offensively and not have the same mentality the Jets have had for the past couple of years of, hey, like just score 20 and we're going to win. Like we need to like throw that mentality out the window and start being the aggressor. So I'm interested by Vrabel. I wouldn't be upset with it at all. I'm also super interested with some of these younger offensive coordinators, and obviously it would be very important to see again, the support staff around these guys is very, very important in any situation. But Vrabel, Cohen, Brady, I know people have spoken about Monken. I don't know if that's going to be available. Ben Johnson, I think he's going to the Bears. I feel like that's not for certain, but I feel like that's a good chance that happens. Who else are people saying? I don't really want Aaron Glenn. I feel like he's I'd rather Vrabel at that if we're Glenn or Vrabel. So again, I'd love an offensive guy, but look, if we bring in Vrabel and he gets one of these younger offensive coordinators, passing game coordinators from one of these offenses to be the OC for the Jets, I would like it.
100%. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say it'd be the worst thing ever if they hired someone who's never been a head coach before. But my patience is going to wear a lot thinner than it would be if they hire a Vrabel. And I already know this guy's a good coach. Like, he's proven it. Like, I just think if you're the Jets, you can't get these hires wrong. This is the lowest you could argue the Jet franchise has ever been. As bad as they were with Kotite, we weren't going on 55, 56 years without a Super Bowl win, a Super Bowl appearance. Here we are in 2024, soon to be 2025. They have the longest playoff drought in professional sports, haven't had a winning season in a decade, haven't won a division title since 2002. I can't take it anymore. Like, you have to get these hires right. And I just feel like you have a much better chance of getting it right if you hire people that have had success in the roles of which you're hiring them for. Maybe Aaron Glenn's an awesome coach, right? Maybe he is. Maybe Liam Cohen is the next Kevin O'Connell or Sean McVay. I just can't roll the dice when Mike Vrabel's out there, when Brian Flores is out there. Like, I want the proven guys. And that goes for the GM as well. Like, if you told me they hired Thomas Dimitroff, for example, or John Dorsey, or someone else that's had a lot of success as a general manager, sign me up for that. I'm just so sick of Woody Johnson paying these guys millions of dollars for jobs they've never been in before, right? If you're an assistant GM, that's not being the head honcho. If you're an offensive or defensive coordinator, that's not being a head coach. Hire people for the jobs that you're hiring them for. And that's my biggest thing, why I value experience so much with where this Jets team is at right now.
Yeah, I totally understand that. And you're kind of right. We're not in a position where rolling a dice is in the cards, because look what we've done for the past 10 to 13 years. So
you could argue they're the worst franchise in sports right now. That's what Joe Benigno said this morning. And you know what? He's not wrong. Like, he's honestly not wrong. Like, forever, the Knicks had that label, right? The Browns, the Lions. Like, no, the New York Jets, you could argue, right now are the worst franchise in professional sports if you go back over the last, let's say, 15 years. Like, we've had Aaron Rodgers for 16, soon to be 17 games, and this team has won 4 games. You can't make it up. I can't take it anymore, Andrew. I can't. They have to get these hires right.
Yeah, I totally understand and agree. It's, again, going to be on is Vrabel our first choice? Does Vrabel want to coach for us? It's going to be interesting. Like, he came up quickly, and I'm just looking through his coaching history now. He's an interesting guy too, because he was at Ohio State for 3 years, went to the Texans, 2 years was linebackers coach, 1 year defensive coordinator, boom, got 6 years as the head coach for Tennessee. So, like, that's not to say that there's obviously, like we said, there's guys around the league that are going to be hired, like Kevin O'Connell was after he was the offensive coordinator for the Rams and they won the Super Bowl. And now look what he's doing in Minnesota. I do understand what you're saying, though, Jake, in the sense of we need stability, like, now more than ever. And taking a chance on a guy that could have a high ceiling but a really low floor, I don't know. I mean, God knows what the hell Woody wants to do, but I understand that that's not what is the best probably for the Jets. We really want a guy that, like you said, is proven, which Vrabel is, and he provides a high floor and, you know, a ceiling that works, because he's made the playoffs 3 times. He's made the AFC Championship once with not the best teams. So I completely understand where you're coming from. The like film and X and O guy in me really wants them to just, like, go for a guy that could change this offense and, like, have a new philosophy. But who's to say Vrabel doesn't find one of those guys, a diamond in the rough, by himself? I mean, I should have been looking at who's on the Cleveland Browns staff right now under Stefanski, because Vrabel very well could be bringing in any of those guys from that staff. He very well could have been lobbying to them this whole year and saying, hey, like, when I get a head coaching job, you're a passing game coordinator right now. Get ready, because I'm going to bring you as my OC. So the more I talk about it out loud, it's better. It's a very good option.
look, no matter who they hire, I'm going to give them a chance because I always go back to recent years. Nick Sirianni's being laughed at during his introductory press conference. Guy's been to the Super Bowl. They're the 2 seed again this year. They have made the playoffs every year he's been there. The guy's a really good coach. All right, Dan Campbell's the best example of this with his biting kneecaps press conference. People clowned him, said, oh, what a joke. Here are the Lions messing up again. He's considered now one of the best coaches in the sport. So there's so many examples of we all knock a hire. It turns out to be awesome, right? Dan Quinn, I thought, retread. What are the Commanders doing with Jaden Daniels, their quarterback, going to be their pick? 100%. Dan Quinn has done a great job. So, I'm not unless they hire Adam Gase 2.0, like Arthur Smith or Matt Nagy, I'm going to try and give the benefit of the doubt to whoever they hire because I want to be fair. But I'm just telling you, with where this team's at right now, you got a guy out there in Mike Vrabel who is available. And if he says no, he wants to go elsewhere, fine. But if I'm Woody Johnson, I'm going full Leon Hess and 96 when he wooed Bill Parcells. That's what I'm doing for Mike Vrabel. I don't like the guy who said this, but I will take him at face value. If this is true when I'm about to play, then there's no reason for the New York Jets not to get this done with Mike Vrabel.
I talked to Mike Vrabel. Mike said, he said, I would take the Jets job. I just don't know who the GM would be. I'd have to like the GM.
Let's go. Hey, Mike, which GMs do you want to work with? Who do you think would be a good fit for you? And he doesn't want control, like personnel control is my understanding. He just doesn't want to get blindsided like what happened in Tennessee when John Robinson didn't tell anyone they're trading away A.J. Brown, and they never recovered from that. And then they bring in a different GM after John Robinson gets fired, and him and Vrabel don't see eye to eye with the direction of the team going forward. So, he just wants to be in lockstep with the guy he's working with, which is fair. So, to me, go get him, Woody. That's the guy that at least if you get him and pay him what he's worth, I don't think any Jet fan could say, wow, what's Woody thinking? It's like, no, you got the top guy available with a track record. Even if you despise Woody Johnson, you can't say that's not a smart decision if he's able to get Mike Vrabel here.
I agree. And I just was looking through the offensive staff for the Browns. Ken Dorsey, who was the offensive coordinator for the Bills the last 2 years, is the offensive coordinator for the Browns right now. I would be interested in. And their passing game specialist is Tommy Rees, who is the former Notre Dame quarterback, but he was the Alabama offensive coordinator last year. So those are two names to keep in mind because if I'm Vrabel, I don't know how many guys I have in the league where I'm like, hey, do you want to come coach offense with me? He's on a staff with these guys this whole year. So I think those are two guys that are potential candidates for the offensive coordinator position. And look, it's going to have to be a wait and see thing. You hope that Vrabel will just take the interview and then ideally they'll have some infrastructure in place of saying like, this is who the GM could be. These are the guys we're looking at. Here are the candidates. And at that point you could listen to Vrabel. And if Vrabel says, hey, this guy I've heard about this, that, and the third, you take his what he has to say. It's meaningful. And I don't know, man, there's not a ton of guys in this coaching cycle. And Jake makes good points in the sense of like, there's little to zero guys that have a strong background as a head coach. So anyone that's strongly against Vrabel, I don't really understand. So I think he's the strongest candidate out there.
And look, I'm not trying to make it sound like Mike Vrabel is the greatest coach of all time, but I just feel like I have to emphasize this because if Brick Johnson's watching this or Woody or whoever, it's like, it's a no-brainer, man. To me, it's a no-brainer. I'm not saying he's going to be Vince Lombardi reincarnated, but at least we know at the bare minimum, the guy's a good football coach. We have not been able to say that in 15 years since Rex was here. So God, man, that's why I'm pushing it so hard. We're presented today by SeatGeek. Promo code Jake Asman will get you $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Jets and the Dolphins, $4.25 on Sunday. If you're trying to go to the game, I mean, with $20 off SeatGeek, you might be able to actually get paid by SeatGeek to go to the game because tickets in some spots, I think, are less than $10. How about that? So use promo code Jake Asman. Doesn't have to be for the Jets game coming up. Any sporting event, any concert, comedy show, SeatGeek has every event. Shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring us. Promo code Jake Asman for $20 off your first SeatGeek order. If you're tuned in live right now, we're going to do the raffle for epic prizes coming up, including not one, but two. Super Bowl III replica Joe Willie Namath rings, the Wayne Corbett authenticated rookie card. And Andrew, I know what you want. Hold on, let me just show off the little rookie on the trading card here for Wayne. And Andrew, I know you've been dying to try and win this. The Zach Wilson autographed trading card here that includes his jersey. I know you're a big Wilson Truth fan.
Hey, all I'm saying is that could, what's happened with Darnold and Geno, you stashed that for about 10 years. That could be valuable. You never know.
I'm holding on to it. I'm holding on to it. So the raffle's coming up. Plus, we got merch giveaways and much more. All memberships from this point on go towards our next raffle, which includes Gusbuster umbrella, more merch items, and a Jets mini helmet with the new logo. It is awesome. So a mini helmet, I will send it to you with the new logo. That will be one of the main prizes for the next raffle. I got other things in store as well, but I'm currently bidding on them right now on eBay, so I can't say anything yet. I don't want anyone to buy it away from me. All right, so I'm working on buying more stuff for more giveaways. All right, we're gonna get to the raffle coming up, as you heard me just say. Andrew, I know you got some film to break down. I'm not going to sit here and have you break down a ton. I don't, that's just bad for your mental health on New Year's Eve right now. But I'm just going to play something because I'm watching this, and I was someone who was maybe open to the idea. Rodgers back, if he plays well against the Rams and Buffalo, but he didn't play well against the Rams minus the one drive.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, he was awful. Let's call it for what it is. And this play right here just encapsulates why I think if you're another coach, another GM coming in, you're going to want a clean break. You're going to want to start over and not bring Aaron Rodgers back as your quarterback. I know it's never just about one play, but, what are we doing here, man? I'm sorry. This play it's absurd that the great Aaron Rodgers is unable to make that throw. And it's happened a couple times this year, too, on some plays. So, I don't know. Your thoughts on that and just what you saw when, for whatever reason, you did go back and watch this film yesterday.
Yeah, I texted you yesterday. I was like, I'm done watching film this year. So I was like, there's just no way I'm going to watch film anymore this year. And then I went back, looked at that play. Another good design from Downing. You just fake the dive to Braylon, and you get a fast flat to Brees, which is usually open. But the corner sat with Brees there. There's a corner with Brees. And then Yeboah is just on the shallow crosser, and Rodgers points him upfield like he should because there's green grass ahead of him. And then just throws a duck into his calf. The worst part to me is Rodgers after that is throwing a tantrum on the sideline. Look, man, I love Rodgers. I think he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I do truly believe he's a great teammate, and I'm appreciative for him coming to the team and having this horrible injury and sticking around. It just hasn't been it this year, man. And if you think I'm saying that off this play or of this game, you don't watch the show and you don't follow me on Twitter because I've been watching every single game on film and breaking it down, and it's not anything new. I don't think Rodgers is nearly the only reason why this team has 4 wins, but I don't think he's as good as I thought he was going to be able to be, and he's coming off a really bad injury. But how much better is it going to get? It could get better with coaching, but he's 41. His mobility's gotten better over the past couple of weeks. I just don't know if he's going to. I feel like I've said this 18 times on the show. Is he going to be down to learn a new scheme? I don't think so. I think he's going to take a few weeks off, and they're going to hire a new staff and then let that staff decide what they want to do. It's obviously not about that play. That's one play. But, again, you make a bad throw, and then he's throwing his hands up to the sideline like Yeboah did something wrong. I don't really understand that portion of it. You made a bad throw on the run. Okay. But don't turn around to the sideline and act like an 8-year-old and wreck basketball, it's throwing a tantrum. Come on now. So that's the only thing I didn't like. As for him coming back or not next year, I've been very consistent on the fact that I don't think he should come back. Probably the past 2 months, but I also understand fans out there that say, who the hell is going to be our quarterback? Because I have no damn idea. So look, man, you get the infrastructure in place, coaching staff, and GM, and then I will be okay with whatever decision they make as long as we hire the right leadership.
Yeah, look, I don't think he's going to be back, but look, if they hired a Vrabel or they hired someone who's look, trust me, I think Aaron will be perfect for what I want to do. We're going to be a ground and pound offense, and we're only going to ask Aaron to be a game manager, and we're going to lay this out to him, and if he says he's in, great. If not, we're going to move on. All right, I'll listen to that. I don't see it, man. I just feel like part of Aaron Rodgers being here makes it tough for a new regime to come in and basically clean up the facility and change the mentality. And I'm not saying Aaron's bad. I just think when he's on your team, and it's the same with any Hall of Fame quarterback, they're the center of the universe, so to speak. Right. And I just feel like it's tough for a new coach to come in and trying to implement what they want to implement with him here, unless it's a guy like Vrabel, who I know Rodgers has a relationship with, and maybe there's an exception, but it's just tough to picture. Like, I remember Phillip Rivers at the end of his career, right? He goes to Indy and they win 11 games and he's a game manager, perfect spot. But like Phillip Rivers doesn't like command like the attention that like Aaron Rodgers does. So I feel like it's different. Plus, here's my concern with Rodgers more than anything else. This is now 3 years in a row. He has suffered a serious injury and either played through it and it affected his play, or obviously last year it knocked him out for the entire season. He's going to be 41 going into the year next year, 42 by the end of it. Like, he's going to be healthier next year now. Like, maybe the Achilles will be a lot better, but how do we know he's not going to suffer more lower leg injuries, lower body injuries, as he's 41, taking hits and having to go through that, the wear and tear of another season? I just feel like there's too many things stacked against Rodgers to picture him being here right now.
Yeah, and we haven't even mentioned the cap yet. If you told me like, hey, Rodgers will play for $12 million, a 1-year deal, and like we've like less than $10 million in dead cap if we keep him, I'd say hell yeah. Like, okay, we're not going to find another bridge quarterback like that's going to stay for a year that's going to cost that little. But the issue is he's going to cost $63 million on the cap in 2026 if we keep him next year. I know that he will be down to make that lower, but
it would have to be a huge sacrifice though. Again, yeah,
right. Like, it's going to have to be huge. That's a quarter of your salary cap as the new GM. I can't even imagine the new GM saying, yeah, I'll take another year of mediocrity with like a 9-8 ceiling, sneaking into the wild card and getting bounced for $63 million that could screw up where we're trying to build this team up again. Like, there's so many factors and variables. A lot of them lead to him not being here. Again, I don't know though, man. Like, it's not like we have a ton of great options. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just it's tricky. I mean,
it's tricky.
It's $35 million the Jets owe that option bonus. So if he's like, hey, instead of 35, I'd do it for 20. I don't know how that would impact like the dead cap at that point. Like, with the 63 million, do I just subtract like 15 from that and then I can spread it out over 2 and it's like, 30 and 25 and it's easier to manage? Because then it's like, okay, it's a real conversation. But then there's just has he been that great this year? I mean, let's call it for what it is. I know the stats don't look bad. Obviously, like, statistically, it looks pretty good. But we also got to be realistic when we talk about, like, the Jet wins this year. They beat a bad Titans team, a bad Patriots team, a very mediocre, overrated Texans team, and an awful Jaguars team. And in what, 4 games this year, the Jet offense has failed to score 10 points or more? Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't. Like, obviously, I think if he's back, it would have to be under the condition of like a modern scheme, a modern offense. But then it goes into what you're saying. How willing is he to even learn how to how willing is he to learn a new system at age 41?
I can't imagine. Like, just from my experience of going through playbooks personally, the amount of new verbiage and terminology to go learn a whole nother language when you're a Hall of Fame quarterback, you think your offense is the best, which he obviously does because he's made the offense scheme literally just him here. I can't even remotely imagine him being down for that, especially after being MVP 2 years with LaFleur and saying how much he hated the offense that they ran. So that's a whole nother variable, along with the new coaching staff, along with the salary cap. It's a lot of things that are going to have to fall into place for him to be on the roster next year, in my opinion.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats will cut the line. Huge shout out to David Atkins, who just signed up for the Patreon. He signed up for the year, so he saved 15% for doing so. David, you made it. You're in just in time to get your name added to the countdown for the month of January. Make sure you join the Patreon. And if you're interested in joining the Asmaniacs at a Knicks game in March, details were posted in the Discord earlier today. Andrew, I got to share the details with you, man, if you want to join the Asmaniacs for a little Knicks basketball in March.
Yeah.
So I will let you know about that. But the details were posted in the Discord channel for all Patreon users first. All right, we're going to do the raffle coming up, but Jeffrey R. is already in for the next raffle after today. 5-spot channel memberships. Let's go.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Alex, Societal Narcissism, Lucas S., Joseph Webb, and M. Jaludi all receiving channel memberships. Andrew, are you ready for a little raffle here? I like having you on for the raffle. The vibes are always high.
Yeah.
You're able to bring the energy. I mean, that's what the people want. Let's be honest.
What do we got going today?
I mean, look, we got not one but two of these bad boys. Joe Willie Namath, Super Bowl III replica ring.
Beauties, yeah. I'm hoping. Who do I want to win? Let me think. Is Connor? I see Connor Long in the chat. Is he in the raffle?
I don't. Connor, have you gifted a membership for this one? You might have been in the other one. I don't know. I might have to just send Connor anyway because he's typically one of our best callers.
Let's get. I want a Rich or Jay Quest. I'm assuming they're both in it, so let's get one of them.
All right. Well,
I always see them in the chat.
Well, what I have right here is the bucket of champions. There's 230 or no. Let me check my phone.
Oh, there goes Connor Long.
Connor, you'll be in the next one, not this one. But thank you for getting the membership here. Hold on. We have, as you can see here, a very organized list of all the names and how many people gifted stuff. It's insane. 278 memberships that were gifted. This is raffle number 9, where we've given out a crap load of epic prizes. What I'm going to do right now is pick a winner for the first Joe Willie Namath replica ring that I will send to you. Here we go. And the winner is listener Mimosa. That is Mimosa McNearney, who won the Curtis Martin signed trading card. So Mimosa is going home a big-time winner. She wins the Joe Willie Namath ring. And people are very pissed in the chat. Well, I mean, I can't not send it to her, guys. I mean, she gifted like, I think 100 and something memberships. Like, it makes sense that she won. She had the best odds. But don't worry. All right. There's another ring, and I'm going to give it away right now. Someone wrote she gifted 50 memberships. She gifted more than that. Let me see. I have it in my phone. She gifted 120 memberships in this raffle.
Damn.
And, she's the Steve Cohen of the Asmaniac raffle. She was going to stop at nothing until she won. All right, here we go. Winner number 2, Joe Willie Namath ring.
3 siblings? I'm going to go 3 siblings. I didn't realize how this is going to be like the hardest thing to predict because there's so many people in it.
Yeah, you have no idea. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the second Super Bowl III replica ring is RK. Listener Rick Kent.
Oh, nice.
There we go. Rick was dying for this too. So, Rick, I'm glad you got it.
Nice.
There you go, Rick. That's awesome. All right. So that's 2. All right, Rick, I will send this replica ring out to you. So congratulations to you. Rick's in the chat. So that's awesome. That's awesome. All right. But don't worry, folks. We still have more items we're raffling here. Wayne Corbett rookie card. It's going to come with Asmaniac swag and some other Jets trading cards. But the most valuable card and the coolest collector's item card is the Corbett rookie card, old school Jet jerseys, Kotite era, all that. Probably the only good thing to happen during the Rich Kotite era was, well, you guessed it. It was that. All right. Let's do another winner here. You ready for the Wayne Corbett rookie card?
Yes, sir.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, here we go. The winner of the Corbett rookie card is Jeffrey R.
Oh, yeah.
Congrats to Jeffrey. I see he's in the chat.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, you predicted Mimosa would win that one. That is not the case.
Wow.
Jeffrey R., you are the winner of the Corbett rookie card. Jeffrey, if you're on the Discord, send me your information where I'm sending it to. And if you're not on the Discord, shoot me an email, asmanjake@gmail.com, and I will make sure I get this sent out to you in the coming days here after the new year. All right. We're not done. Let me check my phone here to see the order I said we're doing this because I want to make sure we're fair. All right. Next up is the Aaron Rodgers jersey, which about a week ago, people were probably more excited to win. But it is a throwback Rodgers jersey, so you could pretend like, oh, Aaron Rodgers was actually on the Jets when we wore these jerseys. So we got him in his prime. It's not just Madden, create a player and throw him on the Jets. The Rodgers jersey. Let's find out who's going to win that one right now, shall we? All right, here we go. Into the bucket we go. Jeffrey, my email is asmanjake@gmail.com. It's in the description box. I just saw your comment. Listener, Papa Jet is the winner of the Aaron Rodgers throwback jersey. So Papa Jet, I don't know if you're in the chat, but if you're watching this after the fact, please reach out. I'll post the winners in the Discord for people not able to watch live. All right, so Papa Jet, latest winner. Next item we're giving away is a $50 gift certificate to Copper John's Beard Company, one of our longtime sponsors on the channel. If you need mustache wax, if you need beard butter, beard balm.
Let's get this. Right? I hope this goes to the 4%, you know?
Yeah, that's the problem. If a woman lives this, if a woman, a member of the 4% wins this, what do we do?
Hopefully they have a significant other and it's a little gift.
Yep. Maybe we can make a trade. Someone wrote Connor will win it. Yes, the 13-year-old who can't grow facial hair will win this. All right, here we go. Let's hope it's a dude, which 96% of my audience is. Here we go. The winner of the $50 gift certificate to Copper John's Beard Company is listener. Oh, this guy's actually got a beard. This is perfect. Like Hamburger. And what's funny is Hamburger gifted 5 during the first show today, and it was literally I said, hey, this is your last chance to get in. And guess what? It paid off. He won. Nice. Hamburger, congrats. If you're not watching live, message me, and I will tell you how to get the Copper John gift card. My dad just says you could give them a Gustbuster, so guess what? We're doing an extra raffle winner here. So another Gustbuster umbrella will be entered. All right, here we go. This one is a merch item from jakeasman.com. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of an item of your choice is, yes, V-Man. Oh, let's go. You want to hear something funny? V-Man was only entered in the raffle because I put a bounty on Allen to throw him out, and guess what? V-Man paid it right away.
Oh, wow.
Big time. Congrats to V-Man. Hopefully he's not sleeping, and he could let me know what he wants from jakeasman.com. All right, we're not done yet. I promised 2 items from the merch store, so guess what? That is what we're going to do. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Second item from the merch store, then the Gustbuster. Hold on. I almost grabbed 2 by accident. Listener A.D. Pugnant. You want an item from the merch store, my man. So, A.D., I believe you're on Discord. If you're not, I will figure out a way to get in touch with you. Congrats to A.D. You're a champion. There you go. All right. That was 6 winners. We have one more raffle winner. Ladies and gentlemen, a Gustbuster umbrella is firmly on the line. All right. Okay, these are all stuck together. Jesus. Hold on. This doesn't count. A couple fell out. I'm not looking who got them. Doesn't count. Here we go. Mix it up. Gustbuster, courtesy of Steve Asman, folks. The winner. Oh, V-Man's in the chat. Beautiful. The winner of the Gustbuster is the Lup Man. Luppy winning a Gustbuster umbrella. So one of the greats from Long Island. One of the great Jet fans out there. All right. That is our 7th winner. Moving forward, everything else now goes towards a future raffle. Congrats again to all our winners. Mimosa, Rick Kent, Jeffrey R., Hamburger, Papa Jet, V-Man, A.D. Pugnant, and Luppy. That's 7 raffle winners. There we go. Next raffle will be in just a little bit. Probably, I mean, at the pace we're on right now, probably by, next week. We'll try and do one a week as we keep getting more memberships. All right, Andrew. I know you said you got to go soon. Is there any other film you want to quickly show before you head out of here?
I was just going to show the play after it, but, that was just a 4th and 1. And I looked back, Jake, and I was like, damn, it feels like 4th and 1. We never get it. We're 0 for 4 on 4th and 1s this year running the ball. They've actually converted a couple 4th and 1s throwing. But running the ball, they are 0 for 4 on 4th and 1 this year, which not a good stat. So, yeah, I just found that out. But I don't need to show that.
It's sad seeing you so checked out on wanting to show film.
It's not, man, we're a week away from it being the off season, which is the best time. Bobby just wrote, can I talk? I can talk to Bobby for like a quick minute if you want to swing him on.
Oh God, here we go. Bobby making demands, bullying me into putting him on a show. Ladies and gentlemen, because Andrew Fialkow is always ready for a little Bobby Midnight, Here we go.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Hi, Jake. How you doing? Thank you. Hi, Andrew.
What's up, Bobby?
Guess what, Andrew?
What's up, man?
I got I lost 16 pounds so far.
Oh, very good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Are you
Jake's
doing-
helping me out too.
Are you doing Gary's diet? Is that what it is?
Yeah, you're doing good.
Okay. What happened?
Yeah, well, it's a special diet I'm on. Better.
Okay.
Not every day though.
Got it. The last time we talked, I think there was some beef going on. You were chirping Jake.
Bobby?
Oh, I love Jake. I love Jake.
I thought you were frozen.
Was he not frozen there?
No, I'm here right here.
No, I think
okay.
he's all right. Good.
No, wait. We're just showing. I'm showing my screen with Jake, so everybody's seeing Jake saying hi.
Oh, you're live right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
But I was waiting to talk to
Okay.
Jake and Andrew.
who's in there? Who's on live right
Yeah,
now?
I'm right live.
Bobby, what are you doing to my show right now?
Oh, it's Gary, me, Nate.
Gary's. Wait, I gotta say, are we in like the vortex? Are we double?
Oh, I
going to
just wanted to. Everybody wants to say hello
What are you talking about?
to Jake.
wait,
We can't see
Yeah.
your show. We
Right.
just see you.
wait, I'm on Bobby's. I'm
Andrew.
checking-
That would be Jake.
Everyone's waving on Bobby's
I
show.
know,
but
they're in
we
the
don't
back.
see them. We don't see them.
I tried to share the screen, but I don't know.
All right.
I didn't know how to share the screen with you. I'm sorry, I screwed up.
Look at Bobby two-timing us, putting us on his show.
I'm like, what is he talking about? We can't see his show. It's clearly affecting his internet connection.
Yeah.
I mean, Bobby, get your act, get your act together here. You become quite the diva. You're trying to steal the live audience from this great program to yours. What's happening here?
This is crazy. I'm looking at it's like Bobby's. I'm on Bobby's show and his chat. It feels like it's like the people that are also in your chat. I see. Wow. What a moment.
Well, that was disappointing that was the one phone call you had time for, Andrew, but we can't win them all. Happy New Year's, man. Appreciate you hopping on as always.
Yeah. Happy New Year's, Jake. Happy New Year's to everyone in the chat. And I'll talk to you guys soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Fialkow, weekly spot on the show. No film today. Do we really want to watch Jet film? If you tuned in late, Rex Ryan joined me on the show. Go rewind to the beginning of the program and you could listen to the full conversation with Rex. Once again, if you tuned in late, congrats to our 7, or actually, do we have 7? No, we had 8 winners, right? Mimosa, Rick Kent, Jeffrey R, Papa Jet, Hamburger. V-Man won a merch item. I'm so unorganized here. It's hard to do this and do a show. Oh, 80 Pugden was the other one, and Luppy. Got it. Luppy won the Gustbuster. I'm trying to be organized here, folks. I want to make sure people's memberships are accounted for. V-Man and AD Pugden. Got it. All right, we just did 8 winners. Now moving forward, our next raffle is underway as far as tallying tickets. Thank you to everyone who participated again. All right. Comments, questions, super chats. Let's get to more of your calls here. First, let me just quickly catch up on a couple super chats here. Oscar, thank you, man. Love you, Jake. Thanks for all you do. Thanks to everyone who watches. The fact that this channel continues to grow despite a 4-12 season that has been the worst season any of us, I think, have ever experienced. Speaks volumes about, 1, how amazing this fan base is, and 2, how great the Asmaniacs are. So thank you. Purple Belt Mike says, I still want to know, where did training camp Rodgers go? I think he started getting hit, Mike. You know, there's a difference when you could practice and know no one's ever going to touch you, and then you start taking a beating. I think that's what happened, unfortunately. Mother effing Chew became a channel member. Let's go, Chew. I appreciate you. We'll get you in the next raffle for 1 ticket. And when Mother effing Chew gives a membership or becomes a channel member,
Choo choo, mother
Captain. Shoo!
Eric says, I'd rather bring in Rex than hire Nagy or Arthur Smith. Nagy was carried by the Bears D, and Smith is offensive Salah. We need a proven, successful candidate like Vrabel, not just experienced like Gase. 100%. If you're asking me would I rather have Arthur Smith, Nagy, or Rex, give me Rex 100 out of 100 times. I'm with you. Jeffrey says, Mike Vrabel was fired. Yeah, like pretty much all coaches at some point. Is this supposed to make me not like Mike Vrabel? I mean, Tennessee fans were pissed when he was fired. They thought it was a bad move. I can tell you firsthand, I've rooted for teams where they fire the coach, and it's the wrong move. I'm an Islanders fan. When the Islanders fired Barry Trotz, I was furious. Terrible decision. Or however they want to dress it up, step down, whatever. Like, come on. Hey, Jeff R., I got your email. Congrats on the Wayne Corbett rookie card. I will send it your way. Appreciate you, man. I'm going to send you some other Asmaniac swag with it, too, and some other cards, but you will get that Corbett card sent. Native New Yorker writes in, Jake, how could you pass on Belichick but wet your pants for Vrabel because you said he's successful? Belichick, the GOAT, you passed on him. This is why the Jets are losers. If you don't see the difference between 72-year-old Bill Belichick and Mike Vrabel, I can't help you. All right? Honestly, I feel sorry for you, Native New Yorker. You're too stupid for me to address. Farewell.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Thank you for the time. All right, let's continue the conversation. Kyle's up next. What's up, Kyle Clifton? Kyle? Kyle? Kyle, you there? Kyle? I think Kyle ran into that brick wall and is unconscious. We need someone to do a check in on Kyle. All right? Someone might have to do CPR on the man. I don't know what to do here. I'm not a doctor. Where's Gary? He's a doctor, right? Oh, my goodness. What do we do? There's only one guy I could call. Oh, he's gone. I don't know what happened to him. Very sad. Jeffrey says he was fired as Brown's advisor. He wasn't fired. His contract expired, actually. He was hired as a consultant, and his deal is apparently up. I don't know why it would end before the regular season's up, but it's up. Mike Vrabel is free to talk with teams. Woody Johnson. Please. Please. More of your calls right now. I know what we need. We need a smart, educated caller like Connor Long, who's also 13. Hello, Connor.
Jake, how you doing?
I love when you're off from school. You just spend all day watching tape and calling YouTube shows?
I did a show earlier today. I was writing a little. I looked at some of the tape, got outside for a minute. It's fun. I will say it's fun not having to go to school for 8 hours, 9 hours a day. So happy to be home. I was coming up with some coaching staffs for different scenarios. For example, young innovation, overrated, ideal, worst case. I wanted to get your thoughts on this one I put together if the Jets were to draft and develop a quarterback. Head coach Cliff Kingsbury, OC Brian Johnson, DC Ken Norton, GM John Dorsey.
Slow down and say it again.
Sorry. Head coach Cliff Kingsbury, OC Brian Johnson, DC Ken Norton, GM John Dorsey.
I like that staff. I'm iffy on Kingsbury, but I would much prefer him getting a second chance over someone that has never been a head coach before. So
yeah,
you could sell me on that.
I put Kingsbury's head coach because what he's done he has head coach experience and how he's worked with quarterbacks throughout his coaching career, and then he has the connection with Brian Johnson on Washington's staff. He's worked with Jalen Hurts. Ken Norton is also a part of Washington staff, and then John Dorsey's drafted a ton of successful quarterbacks as a GM in his career. And then one more thing here, Jake, Aaron Glenn. I feel like his name's been going around as a potential head coach candidate. I feel like if the Jets were to go with with a first timer, he would be one of the only guys I would approve of, just because because of his connections really over in Detroit. I think there are a lot of guys that he could bring with him to Florham Park and then promote them. For example, a Ray Agnew, a John Dorsey, Tanner Engstrand, their passing game coordinator, Kelvin Shepard, their linebackers coach. What would your thoughts be if the Jets went after Glenn?
Aaron Glenn, I really like him personally, and he's an awesome Jet. And I think if this was maybe 4 years ago, he would make a lot of sense. I just don't want a first-time defensive-minded head coach. I don't. If he was an offensive guy, I would feel a little differently about the first-time thing. But I can't do the Robert Saleh, Todd Bowles thing again. I know it worked with Rex. Mangini had success in year one, and Herm was good. Can we not hire defensive coordinator, never been a head coach before? Can we try something different this go around? That's my big thing.
So then who would you put at number 3 on your list? Because for me, it goes Vrabel 1, Flores 2, Glenn 3. I mean, I think that's pretty much my top 3. Who do you really have behind Flores and Vrabel?
Stefanski, if he's fired. Rex.
Rex? Wow, ahead of Glenn?
I don't want a first-time coach, Connor.
Rex hasn't been in the league for 9 years.
I get it, but you know what? His son is still in the league, and his son is on the most innovative offensive staff in the league. So I put a lot of
His
stock.
son's like a wide receivers coach with the Lions.
And that's still in the league. He's still following that team. I think Rex could probably pick the brain of his son on what Ben Johnson's doing well and would know some guys that would probably make sense for the offensive staff. I don't want a first-time coach. Maybe I'm dead wrong and Aaron Glenn ends up being awesome. I just think it's such a risk for the Jets to hire a guy who's never been a coach. The one first-time coach that intrigues me, that's not Ben Johnson, because I don't think he'd come here, would be the Bucs offensive coordinator, Liam Cohen, because I think he's done a great job with Mayfield, and they've had a lot of injuries there, and their offense continues to be awesome. So that's it. Like that he's like one of the few guys. Todd Monken would intrigue me too, because he's a little older. He's not like the whiz kid type of thing, but
yeah.
I'm so beaten down by these guys. They come here, they think they're going to change things. They're out of a job in 3 years, and we start all over again. And you're young, man. I mean, I can't do it, man. I'm at my wit's end. All right. It's enough.
You said Cohen. Would you be able to be sold if they decided to go you mentioned innovation, the young, innovative route? Potentially, you bring in Cohen as a head coach and then Greenberg as the GM. Could you get sold on that? Or you still, even if they go the young offensive mind and then you bring in a younger cap guy as the GM, you still wouldn't be sold on that?
So who's the GM? Mike Greenberg's the GM in this scenario, and then who's the coach? Liam Cohen.
Liam Cohen.
Is there anyone with experience that's on the staff, or it's just a bunch of guys who've never been in those roles before?
Let me check who else I had. Larry Foote as the defensive coordinator. I think that's it.
Who's Larry Foote?
He's the linebackers coach for the Bucs right now.
Too much inexperience.
Okay, there we go. Jake, appreciate you taking my call.
I love how analytical you are, and I love your approach to it. I can't do the first time thing.
I understand.
Man. I can't do it. Like, it's just, you haven't experienced enough bad coaches yet in your lifetime. You've only dealt with Bowles and Saleh. All right. You didn't have to go. Well, I guess Gase too, but you didn't have to go through like this 14-year despair after I saw it pretty good when I was your age. The Jets went to the playoffs a lot when I was growing up. I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
Yeah, I understand it. Jake, appreciate the support. Appreciate you taking my call.
Connor, keep calling, man. Keep doing your thing. Great job. Honestly, I'm probably dead wrong, and Connor's going to be right. We'll probably put together the best staff, and we're going to look back on this 4 years from now. We're going to be like, we should have listened to the 13-year-old. By then, Connor will be 17. He'll probably be working for a team as an intern somewhere. You know, he's probably going to end up being right. I don't know. I don't want first-timers. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Appreciate everyone supporting this show. I believe Kyle Clifton is alive. Right, Kyle? Are you okay?
Mrs. Clifton walked in just as I was about to go on, so I was distracted. Sorry about that. So I do think that Connor has a point. Like, the whole reason that we hired the 33rd team, even though we as fans are kind of gun-shy about who they might hire and their relative lack of experience, and we see what happened across town with Dable and in some other places, if they identify a bright young offensive mind who's ready, who they can couple with a GM that they know they can work with, I have no problem with them pulling the trigger. It just has to be the right guy. There has to be someone who's ready for this market and who's ready to take the big job. We're not going to know that until probably about 2 years in. But that said, now that we found out today that Vrabel is ready to be interviewed, they should bring him here this weekend, and they should talk to him about who he'd want to work with and do everything that can be done to understand how he's going to run things and who he'd like to work with, whether he had, overlapped with Dimitrioff or Jim Nagy in New England or Borgonzi in Kansas City, and he has a personal relationship or where he thinks he can work with them. Those are the guys that, just spitballing. I don't know for a fact that if Vrabel has a relationship with them, but you want to get him in the building. You want to get him accustomed to the idea of perhaps being the New York Jets head coach as soon as humanly possible. And then if you want to take a couple of interviews after or interview him again after the GM, a couple of GM candidates are able to be interviewed, then you do that. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, my thoughts on Vrabel. To me, that's the guy you talk to. Find out what he's looking for. Find out how he feels about your roster. Get a feel for what his vision would be, and say we understand that a GM is very important to you. You're someone we value a lot, and we want your opinion on the type of GM you want to work with. Give us some names, right. 100%.
And once I found out that he was available today, I went with the brick wall because I was genuinely bricked up. I'm hoping that our young owner will make the right decision.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes. Thanks, Jake.
Wouldn't that be nice? Kyle, I appreciate it, man. I'm glad that you didn't run through the wall and weren't knocked unconscious like it appeared like you were during your previous call. Ladies and gentlemen, the trolls are out in the comment section today. Comment here from a guy by the name of David Cohen. Jake, why don't you want Ron Rivera? How is Vrabel's resume better? Carolina was the Jets until Rivera got there, and he took them to the Super Bowl. He is way better than Vrabel. Ladies and gentlemen, David Cohen's day is over.
You are by far the dumbest, most pathetic piece of maggot-eating shit that has ever slid from a human being's hairy ass.
God, man. I mean, go look at the resume for Ron Rivera and come back to me. I mean, I don't think he had a winning season his last 6 years as a coach. Yeah, he went to the Super Bowl with Cam 15-1, but that was it. That was the high. Then he went to Washington. He didn't do anything. I mean, come on. You want to tell me Ron Rivera's on the staff in some capacity? Sure, I'm in. If you hired an inexperienced coach, could Ron Rivera maybe be your defensive coordinator? You could maybe sell me on that. I always go back to the fact when Sean McVay became the head coach of the Rams, he was the youngest coach in the league. You know what he did? He hired the oldest assistant in the league. Wade Phillips was his DC. That was smart. Ladies and gentlemen, fresh off of winning one of the two Joe Willie Namath Super Bowl III replica rings, Mimosa is dropping a 10 spot for the next raffle. Boom. 10 channel memberships just like that. Mimosa, you're awesome. A lot of people maybe weren't thrilled that you won, but I say, screw them. You deserve it. All right, these are from Mimosa, Ryan R., NW Key, David Rivera, Jets, Captain, and Green and White Militia. The next 5, We the People, DW, Lauren Shorty, Rob the God, all receiving channel memberships. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all our new members. How about that? And this will be for the next raffle where we have a bunch of prizes. They will be announced. Some of them include a Jet winner hat with the new logo and a Jet mini helmet with the new logo. I see a comment. Did the Jets interview Louis Riddick yet? If they have, it hasn't been reported yet, so I don't think it's happened yet. Because the Jets themselves have announced when they've interviewed their candidates. Ladies and gentlemen, I know what we need to continue a great show with great discussion on our Jets. We need this guy now.
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that Glowski takes steroids. I need some of it. Hey, Charles! Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, Charles!
Hey, Jake, how are you?
Hey, Charles, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Rex is really livid, huh? Well, I still wouldn't take him as the head coach, even if he did have experience. I used to be a Rex Ryan fan, but after the last 4 years, I'm like, screw this guy. So
screw him. You haven't seen any winning since he's been here.
That he contributed part of the losing too. So,
I mean, sure, it didn't end great, but I think people, when you look back at Rex's tenure, I always go back to the 2013 season, going 8-8 with that team, like that. That to me.
Yeah, but I don't know. I jumped off the Rex bandwagon after the last cup. After like 2012, I was like, I'm done.
I get it. Look, it would depend on his staff, but I'll take Rex with a second chance and what he's learned from all that over a first timer, right? Unless you're telling me I'm getting Ben Johnson or something.
My number one choice is still Brian Flores because I think he got screwed over by the Dolphins.
I like Brian Flores a lot.
His last 2 years with the Dolphins were very good. He finished He got 10 wins in 2020. He got 9 wins in 2021. And out of the blue, which shocked the NFL world, they fired him. And people are like, oh, didn't he get fired? Just because a person gets fired doesn't mean it was the right move. 100%. Just because someone gets hired doesn't mean it was the right move either. I thought Brian Flores is a good coach. Look what he's doing with Minnesota. He helped. I think when he got there, Minnesota had a terrible defense. This year, they have an elite defense.
He's a good coach. He also had a year under Mike Tomlin, and he's had a year now, or a couple of years under Kevin O'Connell. Like, I think, the knock on Flores is, he didn't get along with Tua. He maybe was too tough on some players. But you know what? Like,
that's soft shit to me.
I prefer that than the country club environment the Jets have been run the last several years under Saleh in this regime. So
didn't get along? I'm sorry. You know who didn't get along with his coach? Terry Bradshaw. He'll tell you. He didn't get along with Chuck Noll, but he knew he was a great coach. He knew it was right for the Steelers not to win 4 Super Bowls in 6 years.
Right.
So don't give me this crap. Oh, he didn't get along with the quarterback. This is why I don't hate the Dolphins team. I just don't like their organization the most. I think their organization is horrible. I think Mike McDaniel's a decent offensive-minded guy, but the team has, under Mike McDaniel, they haven't really beaten too many teams over 500. When you look at Brian Flores, people were expecting the Dolphins to be like the worst team ever his first year. What did they get, like 5 wins his first year? They ended up beating the Patriots the last game of the 2019 season. Excuse me. He's a good coach, Brian Flores. I think he's a very underrated coach. He's my number one option, but I don't mind Mike Vrabel. I think Mike Vrabel's a good coach, plus he was a very good football player, if my memory serves me correctly. So I understand being a very good player to being a very good coach are two separate things, but he did do a good job in Tennessee, and I think the GM and the Titans organization, did him dirty.
They did, 100%. Look at the Titans since he's been gone. And by the way, when it comes to Flores, he got railroaded in Miami because they tried to hire Sean Payton and pair him up with Tom Brady behind the guy's back. They got caught, which was why the NFL docked them a first-round pick for tampering. That's what happened there. They also wanted him to tank his first year down there. He refused to do it, allegedly. Or Tua, actually, which is funny. It was tanked for Tua, and then Burrow came out of nowhere that season at LSU. But you get my point. Like, the guy is a good coach. Like, he completely maximized that Dolphins talent that year. They were like a historically bad team at the beginning of that year and got better as the year went on. They won 9 games his second year, 10-6 his third year, missed the playoffs on
actually 10-6 his second year, 9-8 his third year.
Okay, I had it reversed. But my point is he had 2 winning seasons in 3 years down there, and when he first got there, they were thought to be the worst team in the NFL that he was taking over. So I think the guy could coach, and I will take my chances with Flores, getting another opportunity, Vrabel. Those are my 1 and 2. Stefanski's fired. He's very high on my list. That's what I'm looking at.
I like Stefanski, too. I mean, he won Coach of the Year twice.
He did.
So I would take Stefanski too. I like his offensive system. If you look at, Nick Chubb, who I pray, is recovering well because I like him as a running back. He's one of my favorite running backs in the league.
Real quick, Charles, it's tough to see you right now. Can you adjust your camera? There it is.
I do like. Plus he did work with some good talent in Cleveland. He had OBJ for a while. Baker Mayfield before the Browns kicked him out and threw him out of town. Jarvis Landry, who was very good. Nick Chubb, David Njoku's a very solid tight end. Kareem Hunt was there for a while. So, if Kevin Stefanski does get fired at the end of this year, if I'm the Jets, I'm scooping his ass up.
And look, I don't know if he is going to be fired, but the Browns are terrible. They don't exactly have a great track record of making smart decisions there. And there's always a surprise fire or two, seemingly every year. Vrabel was that guy last year. So we'll see. Maybe he would be available and he'd move to number 1 on my list.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Now, let me ask you some questions here from the chat. MC wants to know, Charles, I thought you were shaving.
I was planning on shaving, but I said, screw it, I'll do it tomorrow. I woke up late again. Sorry I didn't tune into your radio show today, Jake.
What time did you get out of bed today, Charles?
Around close to 12 o'clock.
Really? So you really slept in?
Yeah, I slept.
Did you have any good dreams?
Yes, I had some good dreams.
What did you dream about, Charles?
I don't know, my family, my friends.
Dennis?
Yes, Mr. Gorman, Mrs. Gorman, Grandma Gorman.
How's Grandma Joe doing?
She's doing fine. She's doing real good.
Oscar wants to know, why are you going to bed so late?
I like going to bed late. I watched the did I watch the game last night? I watched the Washington and the Falcons game last night. I stayed up. I watched all day. It was a great game.
It was tremendous.
Jake Daniels is amazing, man. They have a good offensive line. They have a well-coached, disciplined defense. Not a great defense, but a good football team. Dan Quinn, he was once the coach of Atlanta. Obviously, he was part of that team that collapsed 28-3 against Tom Brady. But I do think he's a good enough coach where you can win with him. And, of course, the Falcons after that, they didn't do that great after that high they had in 2016 when Matt Ryan won the MVP. But he has a quarterback. I pray to God Almighty that Jaden Daniels doesn't have the same career Robert Griffin III did, where after a great rookie season, injury started to derail and destroy his career. And they were comparing him to Robert Griffin III. And speaking of which, he broke Robert Griffin III's record for the most rushing yards in a single season by a rookie quarterback. He had about over 120-plus yards rushing, Jaden Daniels. He's an incredible athlete.
Now, Charles, a couple of people in the chat have noticed that you've changed your shirt since you last called into the show. You've upgraded the wardrobe. Your thoughts?
I'm fine with it. I'm not really picky when it comes to my wardrobe, but I do want to look nice.
Look nice, smell nice, feel nice,
Yes.
Do you subscribe to that philosophy?
Somewhat, yes.
What do you mean somewhat?
I do somewhat. I do take care of I do care about my hygiene, my health, and all that stuff, yes.
What is the Charles Gorman skincare routine? Do we have one?
Take a shower. Brush my teeth.
Mando deodorant?
I have Speed Stick.
We got to get you some Mando deodorant.
I'm fine with my deodorant, thank you.
I don't know. I think you kind of smell.
No, I don't. Anyway.
You can't smell yourself. That doesn't count. Someone else has to sniff you.
We're just staring at each other right now. So Bobby doesn't like Fireman Ed, right?
Why does Bobby not like Fireman Ed?
I don't know. When I was on his show earlier today, he called him the DB.
He doesn't like Fireman Ed because I haven't let Bobby call into the show with Fireman Ed on Fridays.
I don't know. He says differently, Bobby.
Well, that's the reason. I'm telling you the reason.
Interesting.
He cried when he got to meet Fireman one time on the show. You don't recall this?
No, I don't remember.
Do you have any thoughts on Alan, Charles?
Alan Oddvile?
Whatever his name is, Avital?
He's fine. I'm not crazy about a lot of his takes, but he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Gary. He's fine. I don't really particularly I'm not particularly crazy about a lot of his takes, but he's fine.
I see. I'm going to play you something that Alan said recently about Bobby. I want your thoughts, all right? And
Okay.
For those who are playing the show with children around, warning, all right? Warning, there is some curses here. Stand by.
I wouldn't have settled for 20, that fucking moron, that fucking moron, that fucking moron.
Your thoughts on Alan calling Bobby an effing moron?
It is what it is. I don't really know the full story, the full context behind it, but all I know is that, you know, Alan says what he wants to say, Bobby says what he wants to say, and I say what I want to say. So,
And what is it you want to say?
Right now, I just want the Jets to do better as an organization, but I think it's going to take a long time for that shit to happen. Excuse my language.
You think so?
Yes, I mean, we're fans. I mean, we're kind of been I mean, there are times where I feel that the Jets don't deserve our love. They don't deserve our family. They don't deserve us our support because they keep giving us the same crappy service, the same crappy content year in and year out. No matter who we draft, no matter who we bring in, it seems like they'll never change. Something's got to give.
Good question here from Dicker the Kicker. Did you make your bed, Gorman?
Somewhat, yes.
You mean somewhat?
Dicker the King.
I mean, you slept until noon today. The least you could do is make your bed.
I'm lazy like that.
I see.
I'll make it.
What's the latest with the job hunt, by the way? I saw Chef Kevin still wrote in the chat that there's a standing offer for you to come work at the Cloverleaf Tavern.
I'm still waiting on I don't know. I'm still waiting for one of the job things to reply to me back, but there are some things I have to wait for DVR, okay? DVRS. DVRS.
What is
Divisional Vocational Rehab Services.
I see. A couple quick hitters for you, Charles, before we wrap up the Charles Gorman Show. Wayne says, Charles, can you sell me the socks that you have on?
I'm afraid I can't. No.
Okay.
Sorry, Wayne, I can't.
Clancy wants to know, Charles, who's that lovely lady?
Peace out, Jake.
What do you mean? We're not done yet. We still got questions coming in from the audience. Wow. I just got stood up at the altar by Charles Gorman. Disgraced on my own program. Man. Charles, I didn't even get to play all my new clips for you. Look what I have here.
Excuse me.
I mean, come on.
Excuse me.
And finally.
Excuse me.
Man. Saved the best for last, and he's not even here to experience it. All right, more of your calls right now. But first, a super chat from Ron Rivera, who's watching the show. I was interviewed to meet the Rooney Rule only. Okay, Coach. Thanks for watching the program. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. If you missed it, raffle. We did it earlier in the show. 8 winners. Congrats to all the winners. Moving forward, all raffle tickets go towards raffle number 10 which will feature a Jets mini helmet, more Jet memorabilia, Jet winter hat, other merch items, and more. Super chat from JV. Vrabel head coach. Gruden OC. Rex head coach. Dream Redeem team. JV, I don't know if you're aware, but on a football team, you only can have one head coach. You can't have two. You know, they say if you have two head coaches, you don't actually have a head coach. All right? You could have two presidents, but you actually can't. All right? There's a president and a vice president for a reason. I'm assuming Rex would be the DC, and this is a typo. But either way, farewell.
I'm not saying you're not mentally ill. For all I know, you're crazy as a loon.
Just kidding. I won't stupid town you for that. But I look, Leger Douzable told me on the radio on Friday, and I posted that interview on the channel this weekend, that he could see Rex being willing to be the Jets DC. I can't picture it, though. You really think Rex would be a DC and not the head coach? His ego would let him do it? Douzable played for him and said, yeah, Rex loves ball. I think he would. I just have a hard time picturing that. I do. I don't see it. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in, please. Thumbs up icon. And please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. If you're one of the 400 plus out there, thank you, thank you, thank you. This team stinks. Worst season ever. Yet people are still tuned in, engaged to the show. And for that, I will always be grateful. Robbie Sabo will join us tomorrow at 11 a.m. And stay tuned if we do a second show on New Year's Eve in the afternoon. More of your calls right now. JJ is on the line. Let's see if his internet sucks like usual. Hello, JJ.
I got the best Wi-Fi in the land today, man. I'm telling you, I'm on 5G right now. So how do I sound? So
You
far,
sound
so
very.
good.
Let me boost your volume here. Hold on. Talk now.
How about now?
All right. It's coming in very low, but I could try and work with this. Stay tuned.
Well, it's because I'm a very soft-spoken man. I have a bit of a gripe to pick with you.
Of course you do.
Yeah, well, and it's not just you. You got guys like Gator who call into the show today, crying and saying, "Oh, can you guys stop saying I told you so? Like we don't want to hear it." But let me remind you, when me and Alan were calling into the show and we were just giving our opinions, because this is an opinion-based show, I would like to believe, and people would say, "Oh, you guys are idiots. You don't know what you're talking about." No one had a problem with that. But now that, we take a little bit of a victory lap, everyone's like, "Oh, guys, stop saying I told you so." And everyone wants to be all sensitive. Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, you guys were throwing us in the hole. You guys were calling us stupid when we were with these hot takes and all that stuff. And now that we gloat a little bit, everyone gets all defensive. Like, come on. Miss me with that. Also, the fact that Rex Ryan got a head coaching interview for the New York Jets, or is going to get one, whatever the case may be, is comical to me. All right. The same way you guys feel about Ron Rivera, let me tell you something. Well, Ron Rivera actually technically has a better resume than Rex Ryan. He's actually won his division. Rex Ryan, yes, he got to the AFC Championship twice, but he was never able to win his division, and he's never made it to a Super Bowl. So the same way you guys are like, Ron Rivera, you should be the same way about Rex. I know, we're living in the past, but hey, listen, Todd Bowles went 10-6. Does that mean we take Todd Bowles if he gets fired? Actually, to be honest with you, say again?
I said Todd Bowles is employed.
No, I'm saying if he got fired, would anybody be signing up for Todd Bowles?
No, but I think with Rex, it is different because he's 4-2 in the playoffs, all on the road with Mark Sanchez. Like, that's got to mean something, JJ. He also went 8-8 with rookie year Geno Smith. And I think Woody screwed that whole thing up when he fired Tannenbaum and left Rex. He should have just left them together or got rid of both.
It would mean something if he didn't get worse as the years went on, right? And then he went to another team. The reason I will never want Rex Ryan back as a head coach is because he had the opportunity to go to San Francisco or to go to Buffalo. And instead of going to San Francisco, he decided to go to Buffalo. And he didn't do a good job in Buffalo. And his highlight at Buffalo was costing us a playoff spot. And he's the reason that we haven't been to the playoffs. He's literally the reason, because when he was with us, he couldn't get us to the playoffs. And then when he left us, he screwed us over the one chance that we had. So
that's his
I'm
job,
tired
though.
of hearing this.
But wait a second. You can't blame Rex for his team beating Todd Bowles' team in 2015. That's crazy. Your other
No, I'm
takes are
not.
fair,
I'm not blaming him.
but like, come on, you're gonna say you can't use Rex knocking the Jets out of the playoffs in 2015 as a reason behind not wanting him to be the Jet coach. If anything, that helps the argument that he should be or get consideration.
Okay, hold on. Jake, can you hear me? Hold on. I cut in and out for a second. Can you hear me now?
Not great,
Jake,
but yes. Hello?
Okay, well, I wanted to say something. I'm very petty. So I remember when Rex Ryan was like, oh, the Jets are like an ex-girlfriend who wants you back, but they can't have you back. Yeah, I'll never go back to them. I remember him saying that after he beat us when he was with the Buffalo Bills. Now all of a sudden he wants to come back to his ex-girlfriend. Get the heck out of here. Miss me with that.
Yeah, but
another
we
thing,
also could use our ex. It was a great time. All right. The intercourse was tremendous. The best we've had in 15 years.
I beg to differ. Connor Long, the 13-year-old guy, he's a very smart guy. But he asked you a question that baffled me. He asked you what, rookie head coach would you be okay with? And you didn't say Kellen Moore. You said somebody else from, I forget what team, the Bucks, I think, over Kellen Moore. I think Kellen Moore is going to be the next Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay type. And I think he might. I think he'll go down in history and end up being a better head coach than Ben Johnson when it's all said and done. So I would like him to be more on people's talking points when they call into the show, because I think he's done a really good job with the type of quarterbacks that the league is actually transitioning to, like the Jalen Hurts types, the Dak Prescott types. So I think Kellen Moore needs to be, talked about more as a potential head coach, especially if you guys think we have no chance of getting Ben Johnson. Kellen Moore is a guy that I like. Aaron Glenn, I'm not too big of a fan of, because let's be honest with you, the Detroit Lions are not known for their defense. So he's just kind of riding the coattails. They're doing a good job being that they've been injury prone. But I mean, he's not a defensive guru or anything like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and one last point. This guy, Vic Fangio, who used to be the head coach of the Denver Broncos, he was there for like 3 years.
Yeah.
He's also reminds me a lot of a Rex Ryan type. Like, he just couldn't get the job done, and he's just a defensive coordinator at heart. And look at how he's doing now as a defensive coordinator. So to kind of just double down on that Rex Ryan point, it's like Rex can't even get a defensive coordinator job, but I think that's what he needs to do. Go be a defensive coordinator first, and then you can convince me that you're ready to be a head coach again. But Jets fans, going forward, we don't want mediocrity. We don't want people with losing all-time records. So no John Gruden, no Rex Ryan. It should be a mandatory thing that the next head coach that we hire for this team, either he's a rookie or he's a guy who has a winning record. If they don't have a winning record, we don't want them. I'm sorry. I don't care who it is. That's all I have to say. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
JJ, thank you. Enjoy your darkness retreat. Look, here's the thing. Vic Fangio doesn't have the resume Rex had as a head coach. You can't compare it. Vic Fangio didn't go to 2 AFC title games with Mark Sanchez as his quarterback. Go 8-8 with Geno in 2013. So I don't think it's a good comparison at all. Now, here's the issue Rex has, right? You say, oh, go be a DC again. No one's hired him. The problem is Rex could have been a DC in 5 minutes after the Bills got rid of him in 2016. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to be a coach. He left. He went on TV. Got paid well, and he wanted a break. And now it's been a while since he's been back in. So every year you're out, it's harder to get back in. That was Rex's issue. And I've heard Rex say this in interviews before. When Rex got fired by the Jets after 2014, he said if he could do it over again, he would have sat out a year, and then he would have had a pick of so many different jobs. But he was so hurt by being fired by the Jets, he wanted to get back in right away and prove that they made a huge mistake. So he took a job in the same division as the Jets, which he shouldn't have done. He should have waited and went somewhere else. I thought Rex would have been perfect for the Falcons job because that was the year they hired Dan Quinn. Right? But, I mean, we'll never know. But, like, that's part of what happened there. Like, he got fired by the Bills, and then he didn't want to be a DC right away. He could have been. Rex Ryan would have a job in 5 minutes as a defensive coordinator after 2016. He didn't want to do it. He went to ESPN. And over the last 2 years, he's tried to interview for DC jobs, right? Dallas this past year, I think Denver 2 years ago, but he hasn't gotten it. But like I don't think you can compare Fangio to Rex. I don't see that comp. Elmo Jets fan checks in. JJ, please don't use your cellular device and drive. Keep your eyes on the road and hands at 10 and 2. Elmo Jets fan checking in with some driving advice for JJ. Comments, questions, super chats will, in fact, cut the line. More of your calls if you want in on the conversation. We're going to start to wind down this very show. Beningo was on with us on the first show today. We gave you a Rex Ryan interview on this show, plus Andrew Fialkow as well. Joining us right now on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is...
It's Chiefs fan.
Guess what? I'm still looking for a job, bitches.
It's Chiefs fan.
I'm just going to rub my hands together all day.
It's Chiefs fan.
There's a whole lot of DNA on this couch.
Let's hear it for Chiefs fan.
Look, it's my dead neighbor that I didn't kill. Yo, Gator, I swear to God, if you don't get into heaven from these edits, I don't know if God is real, man.
Wait, where are you calling from, Chiefs fan? It looks like a different couch.
Oh, no, it's the same couch.
It's a very unique angle of you, Chiefs fan. You look different.
Mostly tired. I've been that extra hour of sleep could have came in handy today. I gotta be up early tomorrow to get some shopping done for New Year's, so I'm gonna probably be tired when I call in the mall show. So I'm gonna stop and get myself a latte on the way home. They built a miniature coffee shop. You just walk up in there, give them the money, and then they'll make you a latte. Mizzou won, so hell yeah about that. Would love for you and the Bears to spoil 2 playoff teams. Packers, Manly, and the Dolphins. Found out today that my friend texted me Seattle's been eliminated, so he's not too happy about that. Because I thought they still had a chance, but they've been eliminated. Yeah. All I know is I'm just hoping you guys have one last good game of the season and maybe drop a 40 burger on the Dolphins if you could.
A 40 burger? The Jets haven't scored more than, I think, 32 points all season.
Yeah, but they have a chance to knock them out of the playoffs.
Yeah, but the Jets are incapable of scoring 30 points. They've done it once all year. You think they're going to put 40 on the board?
I think Tua is going to shit his pants. Sorry for the language.
Like, when you say he's going to bleep his pants, are we talking like
2 interceptions at least.
2 interceptions.
At least, I think.
Is he even going to play? I don't even know if he's going to play.
Well, who's ever going to be there is probably going to throw interceptions because I'm like, I really, really want an easy path to a three-peat.
When you say he's going to bleep his pants, like this level of like bleeping the pants?
Excuse me.
I love that one, Jake. Get damn it. Oh, my lord. I mean, he could probably do that. I just want to see the Dolphins fail. I don't want a Dolphins-Bills playoff game again. I really want a Bengals-Bills.
I don't know if you want the Bengals to get in, Cheats fan. That's the one team that would scare me that could actually go into Arrowhead and beat you guys because he's done it before.
Nah. I mean, if it comes down to it, we'll just pay the refs. I'm admitting it. We'll do it.
Kyle Clifton is enjoying the Chiefs fan segment. He says it's exhilarating.
Yeah, thank you. I know I'm not going to be drinking for the New Year, but hopefully you guys are. Because I want to be up on the first early.
I'm not going to be drinking either because guess what?
I'm
working early.
I'm going to bed early that night too because I want to be up early on the first, beat the grocery store rush. Got to restock on those healthy choice meals, and also got to restock on those bags of Chex Mix.
I see.
Like the only sweet I've allowed myself to have recently was a small thing of Hostess donuts, and Nelly Buddies were on sale. You know, those Little Debbie's. Since it's the end of the year, I decided I'm just gonna buy myself a 6-pack. And I bought myself the Hostess donuts. They were at Walgreens for 50 cents each because they were going to go bad within a week. So they were marked down to 50 cents. So I just had some donuts for breakfast.
Makes sense. What's
After
your
my
favorite
blood work.
donut?
Powdered sugar or not a very popular one. Lemon citrus.
Lemon citrus.
They got lemon citrus glaze or lemon citrus powdered, depending on tasty cake, whatever they come out with. I'm a very, very type of lemon lime sour type of person. Like 2 years ago, I think I would go through a pound of lemon heads every week.
Pound of lemon heads.
Yeah, because I didn't give a shit about myself during COVID. I was like 250, 260 back then.
What do you weigh now?
224, 225. Well, almost 225.
You look
back then, yeah, thank you. Back then, my blood sugar was on an average 150 every day, which is way too high. Now it's on an average of 85 to 105. Sometimes it gets up there to 125, but that's when I decide I'm like, okay, too tired. Just let me just get some of that frozen beef that I've cooked over the last few months. Like, what I would do is I would go out, buy my ground beef, cook the 5-pound of ground beef, and put it in bags, and then freeze it so I can have meat for my pasta. I know it's not the best way for Italians to think of it that way, but I'm like, when you're prepping for meals, you're gonna have to do it this way. Like, I know someone who is a vegetarian, and he preps all of his meals, and he makes a burrito for breakfast every morning. He just wraps them up in a paper, microwaves them, eggs, cheese, beans, tomatoes, and guacamole.
I see.
Guacamole doesn't probably taste that good microwave, but if it's on the go.
Clancy writes in frozen human meat. To be clear, you're talking about meat that's not human, right?
Yeah, I don't eat human. Nah. But one meat I really want to try, but it's like skyrocketed since I've been down here.
We should put that on a shirt, by the way. I don't eat human.
Don't eat human. I missed out on it. My local Walmart, local Schnucks, and local butchery had filet mignons, but they sold out. And when I went into the butchery today, they're like, "Yeah, we got them marked out. We got them marked up $10. You want to pay $30?" I'm like, "Dude, for $30, I can buy 4 8-ounce steaks."
Now, can I ask why you heat up guacamole? In my experience, guacamole has never been something I've
No,
heated up.
my friend puts it in guacamole and then freezes the burrito with the guacamole in there and then microwaves it.
Oh, okay.
I don't like guacamole. I'm more of a guy, if I'm gonna have avocado, I'd rather have it as is. If I'm gonna have avocado, I'd rather have it in slice.
That makes
Guacamole.
sense.
Also, when you have it in slice, you can toss it on top of a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, and get that extra kick.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
What I do with my guacamole is I chop it up and then I put some lemon juice and some salt and pepper on it when I add mine.
I have breaking news here from Clancy, who writes in, Bobby heats up guac in his undies twice a week.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ.
Bobby, is this true? It's a wild accusation, if not from Clancy.
Oh, my God. That's disgusting. But, yeah, I'm happier now that Mizzou won. I was stressed out in that game. I'm like, oh, come on, dude. No, we can't lose the Allen's team. No. We came back and won. But yeah, I'm just hoping good things for you guys this weekend. Who's that? Hopefully, I know the Yankees. Hopefully, they can make
We
some.
wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Joining us right now to respond to Clancy. Hold on, Bobby. Let me introduce you. I got a job to do here. Joining us right now to respond to Clancy's accusation is Bobby Midnight. Hello, Bobby.
That's not true. I hate guacamole. It looks like baby poop.
You hate guacamole.
I don't like that. I don't like.
I don't like guacamole either, but I'll just eat avocado sliced up.
I don't like avocados. Never got into them.
As a person,
Sorry, Clancy. I like you very much, but you are wrong.
As a person who grew up with Hispanics,
I might have butter in my underwear, maybe. Not-
as a person who grew up with Hispanics.
Guacamole.
As a person who grew up with different races, mostly Hispanics and Puerto Ricans on the south side of Chicago, I love my avocado toast. But I don't make guac with it. I'll just make I'll do a fried egg with some spicy chilies and then.
Jake, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Yes, Bobby.
I was gonna give my sign up. Somebody gifted me a membership.
Well, I got yours right here, so you're in the next raffle, baby. I was just about to share.
No, I know. Somebody gifted me a membership. I needed to, give you. I got to give you.
You probably got gifted one last night, but I couldn't see who got them because it was a post game show and there was too many people watching.
Oh no, it was on this morning. It said, not. It's the other one. This morning when I saw your show this morning.
Oh, I don't know who gifted it to you, but you're a member. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. I was going to sign up for you. Then I'll sign up for your Patreon.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, I got your Patreon covered for the year, Bobby. You're already all set.
You do?
Yeah, I already took care of it. You're in. You're in the Discord. You're good.
I didn't know that.
I took care of it. I don't need to tell you everything I do for you. I just watch over
Well,
you like your angel guardian.
Jake, let me just say this.
The next time I won't go on my show when you have a show. I'm not stuck.
I will say it again. You can always do your show when I happen to be on. I don't own you two. You're more than welcome to do your show.
All right. So
no,
Jake,
it's not fair. I like you, but a lot of people are sick of listening to Jet talk.
Well,
you have
not
to have
everyone.
more. What?
Well, it's not most people. I will tell you.
Yeah, but I'll talk Jets. I don't mind talking Jets. But I will
talk
not
about a lot of stuff on your show. I heard you were bashing Fireman Ed, by the way. Why don't you like Fireman Ed?
No, I don't give a shit about Fireman Ed.
Why?
I don't like him.
What did he do to you? You were so happy to talk to him when.
Well, you said he doesn't like talking to me. So
oh my God, Bobby, that was a joke.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay,
why would Fireman Ed have any issue talking to you? You basically cried on the air when I introduced you guys during the scheduled release episode.
Okay, well, you know what I am. I'm gullible. I'm sorry.
You're the most gullible person ever. Why would Fireman Ed have any issue with you at all?
I don't know. I'm gullible.
God.
I'm sorry, Jake. I like Fireman Ed.
Yeah, I know you do. That's why I'm like, why are you bad-mouthing Fireman Ed? He couldn't have been nicer to you when you spoke to him.
Well, I actually, if you could have us talk to him, I love talking to him. He doesn't like to talk to people.
Oh, my God. Jay Quest goes, Bobby, I'm pregnant.
Oh, no. Shut up. You're the one who banged me, and I did bang you, so shut the hell up.
Yeah, Jay Quest, you were banging Bobby.
I'm not
right?
pregnant.
Wait a second. Wouldn't that make Bobby pregnant?
I'm not pregnant.
Oh,
no!
Jesus
Crazy.
Christ. So Jake.
Okay, let me go. Let him talk. I love you guys.
Right,
love
Bobby,
you, Chiefs fan.
Farewell.
Chiefs fan.
Sorry for spitting out my gum on air. I just gotta say this. For me to be in New York for a game, I'm probably gonna have to find a place to stay or stay with someone. If I fly out there, what's the best airport to fly into?
Whatever gives you the cheapest flight, I would say. I mean, I personally like LaGuardia better than JFK, but JFK has more public transportation.
I've been told to fly Spirit, but I've been heard so many stories about Spirit.
Well, Spirit is going to charge you for oxygen, so just be prepared.
Yeah, I rather pay the premium of $800 for United Airlines if it costs that much.
There you go.
There's the second option. I could go do 4 different Amtraks, but who wants to take an Amtrak for?
No, we got to get you on a plane.
But that's the thing. If I do need help getting to the strip, if you guys set up some stuff for me, I'll pay it forward. The thing is, right now my grandparents are like, "You are not touching that trust fund after you get your back surgery, just in case if something botches, that money can be there for you." There's not. They basically told me, even if it's a small percentage of a botch, nothing goes perfect in life. I look at the Falcons, 28-3.
Nate
That's
has
an
offered up
example.
his backyard. Would you stay in his backyard?
I mean, might as well. Well, I'd rather be in some place where I could sleep in a bed. But like, honestly, I really, really, really want to visit New York. I've told my friends in Chicago, I'm like, it's not happening. All my friends who want me to come into Chicago, either want me to get a hotel or not. And then my friend who bought his house recently, like, yeah, you can come by as long as you give me a few hundred. I'm like, excuse me? I'm the person who helped you get that house. I talked the guy into selling you that house. Even though you're overpaying and you want to charge me, tell him to kiss my ass.
Now,
not in a nice way.
Let's also bring this up. Nate says he has a hammock in his backyard, so you would be staying on a hammock in his backyard. Does that change?
I, as a person who hates camping, used to love camping until I had a bad experience getting bit by a brown recluse. I do not want.
Hold on, you got bit by what?
A brown recluse when I was a kid. Luckily, it wasn't that bad of a reaction compared to when my friend got bit by the same brown recluse. I got bit. They just had to dig a little skin out.
Now,
my friend got bit.
Are you saying are you saying a goose? I can't under.
Brown recluse. My friend got bit right here.
What is brown recluse? Is that like a spider?
It's a spider. It's the second most dangerous spider in the United States. Brown recluse.
Go like this with your hand right now. Like that, but like that. Any webs coming out?
No. I wish.
All right. A wall behind you. Stick your hands on it.
No, I'm good. I'm good, Jake. I'm good.
I just want to make sure it's not a radioactive spider like what happened to Toby
not.
Maguire.
It's not. I wish. If that was the case, I would probably be an outlaw. Because outlaw country. Some of my favorite music. But like I would love to spend a weekend in New York or a week in New York. Mainly hang out with y'all, but I really, really, really want to try some of the pizza places I've seen with that regatta cheese on top and that spicy honey sauce drizzle. And I don't even have to have meat on there. Just give me a cheese slice. Give me enough to get constipated for a week. Because I haven't had a slice of New York pizza since 2010. Real New York pizza. Yeah.
Well, I think we figured out, folks, why the Jets haven't made the playoffs since 2010. Chiefs fan hasn't had a New York slice.
I mean, if me getting a New York slice helps you guys at least get one playoff win, I guess we can make it a yearly thing to fly me out.
Playoff win? How about make the playoffs?
Well, I believe you guys can make it. Honestly, this year, Rodgers coming back, everything wasn't together. You trade away one of your best offensive players, and then you have one of your defensive players turn into a 3-year-old throwing a tantrum because his mom didn't buy him his favorite toy. And then he sucks an egg with it. I know you guys don't believe you can do something. I still believe if you get it together, like look at Washington. They clicked.
Mm-hmm.
If Washington can click and make the playoffs as a 6 and 7 seed, you guys can too. That's like everything clicking. Even if you have to have a bridge quarterback. Like
one more time. Give me one of these. Just want to make sure. I want to see something here.
Yeah, but one last thing. I still believe you guys can make the playoffs. Even if it's not this year coming up, the next year. Because I still believe like something's got to happen. Yankees made it, screwed up. Mets almost made
The
it.
Yankees make it every year, which is great.
No, I'm talking about they make the World Series and then they screwed up. Mets, they go so good and they screwed up. Giants, sorry, there's no saving you. You have two Wilsons on each side of the ball. Rodgers, you never know. Like, I just want something good to come out of New York. I'm like, you had the women's team win it all. Your soccer team made it as a 7th seed.
We don't
Maybe
care about the soccer team.
I know you guys don't, but maybe as a team that's a rival to the Knicks, if you guys would have won one, I wouldn't be that mad at you guys. Now, if it was the Cavaliers winning it all, I
Your
think
friendly neighborhood Chiefs fan.
I think
It's Chiefs fan.
Guess what? I'm still looking for a job, bitches.
It's Chiefs fan.
I'm just going to rub my hands together all day.
It's Chiefs fan.
There's a whole lot of DNA on this couch.
Let's hear it for Chiefs fan.
Look, it's my dead neighbor that I didn't kill.
All right, we're doing 2 more calls because we have 2 elite people that are on the line right now. One of them we have not heard from, and people have demanded him to come out and speak on what we all witnessed yesterday up in Buffalo. Joining us right now on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is a guy who has led the Aaron Rodgers Back to the Jets coalition. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello to Neil.
I think that guy I know, right?
First off, I want to bow to all the non-Rodgers geniuses that join your show on a regular basis, especially Alan, who said that I was on a milk carton because I didn't go on the show. And to my recollection, Jake, when the first 4 weeks of the season, was it? When was Alan MIA for about 2 months? When was that, Jake? If I recall, wasn't he MIA for about a month or 2?
Yeah, he was gone. I think, didn't he show up when Sal got fired, right? Wasn't that his return?
I don't know. He disappeared for quite a while there.
He did. You're not wrong.
And then
That's
he
a good
went
point.
on, and then he has the couth to go on other shows and shit talk you, to everybody. That's his favorite thing to do is shit talk people.
Yep.
And, and then he bounces around from Detroit to the Bills to the Atlanta Hawks when they win a game. Every so often they get 128 points and he comes, he's all excited and everything. Dude, I want Alan's wife on the phone. I want her on this show. I want her on. I want to see what set of nuts crackers this kid's got to put that wife on the phone. As far as everybody else is concerned, let me tell you something, okay? I want to know. I heard it all today and yesterday. Oh, boy. Who do we want? I like Tyrod Taylor to run it back. Oh, he looked great yesterday against the second team. Wow, he's going to put 5 masterful games together as a bridge. If he's a bridge, it's only going to go halfway across before you fall into the ocean. That's number one. That's the bridge that we're offering with Tyrod Taylor. I love him, but he's great for a game or two. He's a spare. Everybody I've heard that's going to replace Aaron Rodgers is a spare tire on a car that's bald and has half air in it, just enough to get you to the gas station. When I hear somebody say that they have the answer to who will replace him, then I will give somebody credit for that.
I'll give you my answer, Neil. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Tyrod, I'd sign Justin Fields. They're competing. Or I'm drafting a quarterback at the end of round 1 or on day 2. That's what I would probably do when I evaluate the options.
What about the Cowboys backup? Is there any shot he's available?
Cooper Rush is not awful. I don't know if he's a long-term starter, but
let me tell you something. Cooper Rush is a lot better. I would take Cooper Rush over Justin because he's a pocket passer. He wins games for the Cowboys. and he's
I think,
not
I think you're
bad.
hoping Fields could develop into that, though, right? Like he's got the skill set. He just needs to be coached to do it. Like I think that's why you would maybe take a flyer on Fields. Who, how old is Justin Fields? What, 26, 27? Let's find out. Like he's still really young.
But let me ask you,
25.
how hard is it? How hard is it to criticize the Jets, Jake? I mean, let's. It's like picking on a blind man, and poking him around. It's like we don't win. I mean, it's very easy to criticize the Jets, and it's very easy to criticize all these guys when we have, everybody. I just figured the problem, and I kind of put my finger on it. People don't like Aaron Rodgers, and he doesn't fit in our team because he's a Hall of Famer. We're not used to Hall of Famers. We're used to meatballs that come on our team, and they shit the bed all the way around. And then we end up, coming to our senses years and years and years later. So I put these guys could peacock. They could say I'm on a milk carton and all the other bullshit. At the end of the day, Rodgers was not good yesterday. However,
he sucked yesterday. Let's be fair. He was terrible.
How many penalties did we have yesterday? I lost count. 16?
It's never just him, Neil, but I think we've
Of
reached
course
a point.
not.
It's never been just him all year, but I think we've reached a point where his play, I don't know how it just I don't think we can just say it just gets better guaranteed next year. Like, sure, I guess with better coaching, they certainly could have more wins if he were to be the quarterback, but I just think there's just too much that would have to happen for that to be the thing. Like, it just might make more sense just to move on, deal with the dead cap
One
this
thing
year.
I will say, Jake, is this. I want to take the money out of the equation, okay?
That's a big part of the equation.
I know it's a big part. I get it. But we're already assumed that he's going to take a pay cut and he's going to bring back. If I say, forget, if we put the reverse on this recording all the way to the beginning of the season, and we said to everybody, well, we have Aaron Rodgers. He's going to play 17 games because the biggest thing I heard out of everybody to begin this season, if he plays, if he doesn't get hurt, if he's never going to make 17 games, what are we talking about here? The guy is injury prone. He's never going to make 17 games. Did we hear that 1,000 times even come out of your mouth?
100%, Neil, but we didn't think, obviously the defense would suck the way it has. The kicking game would cost them how many games? And Rodgers himself, well, statistically it looks decent. I mean, there's been 4 games this year. They've scored 10 or less points. Like, we can't just ignore that. Like, it's not just him, obviously. Like, they should have more than 4 wins. But I can't sit here and argue it's in the best interest to run it back. I was very open to, hey, he had 6 games post-bye to win me over. And he just hasn't done it, man. Like, he played great against Jacksonville and good against the mediocre Miami defense.
I get it. But I will say this to you, all right? I watched Sam Darnold quarterbacking, right? And he's getting accolades and they're pouring roses petals on his head. When I see him drop back to pass, every single time he drops back to pass, Jake, he could hold that ball for 4+ seconds.
Neil,
he
but
looks
outside
at
of
his
yesterday, the line has been relatively good in pass.
Their
for
line
coverage
has
all
been
year.
phenomenal. I would say that's the best offensive line in football. If you look at a statistic on how long he's had to throw the ball, I would say he has had as much time, if not more, than Brady did when he played for Tampa Bay.
Are you talking about Darnold? You're saying the Vikings line?
The Vikings line's been amazing.
Yeah, it's a great situation he's in. But, Neil, the Jets' offensive line has been solid this year. Yes, Rodgers got killed in the Denver game, and he got beat up in the Viking game. But since they went to Olu Fashanu, and he started becoming the regular left tackle, they have been one of the best lines in pass protection. And Rodgers has had time. He had so much time in that Rams game, and they scored 9 points. Like, yesterday was terrible with Carter Warren and Max Mitchell. I understand that. But, like, I don't want to blame the line. He's had time. It's like, come on.
He has had time. Yes. However, as I said, if I have a multiple choice question, and the question is, who is my quarterback in 2025? And I see A, Tyrod Taylor, B, what's his name on Pittsburgh, the runner, Justin Fields. Who's C? Gardner Minshew. Who's C?
Let's be creative here. Let's be wild. How about
give me a C? Let's have a multiple choice.
How about JJ McCarthy? Let's trade for him.
Trade for J. Now the Minnesota Vikings, right? Think about this a second. Sam Darnold was a drifter before this season he put together right now, right? How much do you trust that you're going to pay Sam a contract and not at least have a real competent backup plan in case he shits the bed next year? Because he could very well play crappy next year, right? I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Sure.
Why would you give up J.J. McCarthy when you got him in your back pocket? That doesn't make sense.
I mean, they know the player better than we do. Like, I don't think Sam Darnold's going to fall off a cliff now. I think Kevin O'Connell knows what he has.
Well, who's their backup?
Right now?
Yeah.
Well, it's not Daniel Jones. Who do they have? The old Niner quarterback, right? What's his name? Someone in the chat will know. Who's the Vikings backup? Someone in the chat will get it.
I mean, don't you think that it would be there? Don't you think O'Connell being as good of a quarterback whisperer as he is, that he's been working with McCarthy all year, let's assume, and he's grooming him to take Sam's spot. They're not giving up him for a draft pick. I don't see that.
Why not? There's no path for McCarthy there. He's also coming off injury now too. So they're definitely going to keep Sam.
So all I'll say is, at the end of the day,
is that Rob from Glenhead giving you a call?
No, it's my son. He calls me every day on the way home, from work. He gets home at 8:00 at night. He works for a living. He doesn't have time to be on 16 podcasts like a lot of the guys on the show. But anyway,
name someone who's on 16 podcasts.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
Hey, Neil, I'm in my car, so I sound like shit. The reason I like to go after you is you've spewed bullshit all season about this quarterback. And I mentioned this yesterday.
What do you think this quarterback? Hey, Allen, have a little respect. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Okay.
The top 5 in football.
He's not a Hall of Famer on this team. Okay, he's not.
Stop telling me.
On this team, he's not.
Oh, Allen knew that Aaron Rodgers was going to fall off.
No, I did not know that. I wanted him.
You
Again,
knew, Allen. You knew
he
it
has
all.
become a drug for dummies like you. You worship this guy. He is not the same quarterback. He's just not. And you continue to quote stats. The problem is he's 4-12 on this fucking team. Okay, Neil? You could rip on me all you want. I couldn't give two shits.
Patrick Mahomes would be 4-12 on this.
I don't care about Mahomes. I'm talking about Rodgers.
Records for? Why are you talking
I don't care about Mahomes. I'm talking about Rodgers. The guy can't move. The guy has no more mobility.
Allen, he's mobile enough. Allen, let me just say this.
He's not.
You always listen. You have no answer, Allen. Who is the quarterback for 2025?
I don't care about the quarterback next year.
Care. You want him to
all I know is this team is 4-12. You have to turn the page. It's over.
Allen,
it's over. I listen to you, and I listen to Joe, and I listen to Fireman Ed. Again, it's over. It's done.
Allen, can I speak now? Stop yelling.
Go. I can barely hear you, but go.
Allen, I want you to say to me right now, I, Allen, do not know shit about draft picks, general managers, or coaches, or quarterbacks. Could you say that to me?
I knew that we had a fucking clown as a coach. I knew we had a clown as a coach. And this GM is a piece of shit.
Allen,
all I know is this quarterback is finished.
Alan,
He's finished.
Alan,
I'm sorry.
if I
You
asked
can't
about
bring him
Sam
back.
Darnold, you said
He's
the same thing
done.
last year.
And I wanted him, Neil. Neil, I wanted him. It's over.
But you didn't answer my question. Tell me you don't know Dick, please.
What do you mean I don't know Dick? All I know is they're 4-12.
You know nothing about general managers. You know nothing about Alan. I admit it. I'm watching. How old are you, Alan?
I'm 50.
All right, I'm 63. I've been watching football a lot longer than you. Now let me
That's
tell you
great.
something
I'm
right
very
now.
proud of you.
I defer to it is what it is. We're going to get a coach and a GM, and if everything falls right, we're going to win. If everything falls wrong, we're not. Now, you want to say we're 4-10, we're 1-7 in one-score games. The bottom line is, if we had a better coach, we'd win 3 or 4 or 5 of those.
They're 4-12. I'm sorry. I know we have incompetent coaching. It's not all about the coaching. Every time I've seen this quarterback in big spots,
let me ask
he
you a question.
shits
The
the
reason
bed.
we're 4-10 more about the coach or Aaron Rodgers?
You think with better coaching they're going to win 5-6 more games? I don't.
Question. Is 4-10, 11 now?
They're 4-12. They're done.
Staff. I want to see how smart you really are. Answer my question. Answer
I
it.
can't. What is the
you
question?
Don't know the answer? It's
I don't even hear. I can't hear you.
Jake, take this guy off the phone, please.
Oh, you're a moron, Neil. Neil, I heard it all year with you, Neil. Neil, all season long, you quoted 17-0. You quoted every fucking stat with this fucking quarterback. It's over, Neil. Neil, it's done.
Win 10 games with Aaron Rodgers.
I did. I did. I thought we were going to get a good quarterback. He's finished.
Okay.
He's finished.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Neil. I know you're disappointed.
No,
he's
of course
done.
I'm disappointed. I'm a Jet fan. You're not. Of course
I am a Jet fan. You could say all you want that I'm not a Jet fan. I'm realistic. You can't win with this quarterback anymore.
You're not a Jet fan.
I listened to Connor Rodgers yesterday, okay? Connor Rodgers says, if a coach wants to come here and bring back Aaron Rodgers, then he's not the right coach. And
J-E-T-S, Jets.
Neil, it's over, Neil. I'm sorry.
Hey, listen, the season's over. I agree. I just want to know.
It is, and the quarterback has to go.
Next year, genius. Who's our
I don't care who the quarterback is.
Oh, you don't
You
care.
need to start building with the GM and the coach. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. You're not going to win with this guy. You're not. It's over. Again, all the people who want Aaron Rodgers back think by some miracle, if they have a new coaching staff, this team's going to win 10, 11 games next year with a fucking 42-year-old quarterback.
Listen,
you have got to be fucking kidding me. It's over.
A lot of different things, but guess what? You can't always get what you want, Alan. I have what I have. I have Aaron Rodgers on my books. I don't have anybody else. And you know what?
Again,
he's not Devontae Adams. Here's what I have: Garrett Wilson and Gibson. That's who I have to start next year with what's his name? The guy from the I can't even say his name. It hurts me to mention his name. The quarterback everybody wants now that runs around and can't throw a pass. Okay, that's what we get. So what happened to Allen? He's disappeared. Hello? Allen. Please. Enough. Allen.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
Neil, I'm going to tell you why I don't want Rodgers, okay?
Wait a minute. Hang on a second. Wait.
What are we waiting for?
Where did Allen go? Is he finished?
I think he's done. I don't know.
He's coming back. What are you kidding me? That blabbermouth, he can't stay away.
All right, look.
He's probably pulling off the highway.
This is the thing.
Aaron
Rodgers.
Well, how are you? Hey, say hello first, by the way.
I just said that before. I said what's up.
I didn't hear you.
Look, the reason why I don't want Aaron Rodgers is because of literally the only play that Fialkow showed. Him throwing to Yeboah, underthrowing him, and then throwing a fit after. That's why I don't want him. It's not because he's not the best option at quarterback.
You don't like his attitude?
Yeah, he's crippling the locker room. The players are fighting.
Wait. BBM, when you say he's crippling the locker room, I will tell you right now, I will bet any money that the players on this team love Aaron Rodgers. Do you know what he got? You know what he did for all the offensive?
Garrett Wilson.
Wait. Let me just say this to you, PBM. Let me say this to you. Okay, the guy is nice to everybody. The towel guy, the security guy. The guy is the best attitude
on the field.
We all see it.
I called a month ago.
He's not Geno Smith.
Garrett Wilson throw a fit on the sideline. Garrett Wilson was throwing a fit on the sideline for 8 fucking weeks. 8 weeks he's been throwing a fit.
Why do you think he's throwing a fit? Because Aaron Rodgers is not throwing him the ball?
He's not throwing him the ball. It's being force-fed to Devontae. He's saying all these other routes, whatever, blah, blah. He can't escape.
Again, PBM.
Rodgers is an average quarterback.
Okay.
An average quarterback is not going to do shit for us. We don't need an average quarterback.
Well, who do we need? I didn't hear an answer. Who do we need, PBM? Who? Give it to me. What am I going to hang my hat on for the next 16 weeks?
We're going to do exactly what the Buffalo Bills did. They had Tyrod Taylor in. He played half the season, and then the rookie that they drafted, they groomed him half the year, and then he played. And then you know what? That person was Josh Allen. And the next year,
I didn't know there was a Josh Allen available to us at number 9 in the draft. I didn't know that.
Where do you think Josh Allen was drafted in the draft?
Oh, all of a sudden we're going to become draft geniuses.
Where was Josh Allen drafted?
Look, I don't know.
No.
PBM, I don't know anything about the draft.
Where was Josh Allen drafted?
PBM, I'll be honest.
Josh Allen was drafted.
I don't know anything about the draft, but I do know one thing. From what I've heard from Dom C and a lot of the experts, there's no Josh Allen anywhere in this draft. You know, there is none.
They said Josh Allen would be a bust.
Was still looked at as a highly touted quarterback. So
they said Josh Allen was going to be a bust.
Excuse me?
Mel Kiper said Josh Allen would be a bust.
But there was other guys that had him very high in the draft. I mean, he's not. There is nobody to discuss in this draft. They all stink, don't they?
No.
Oh, I thought there was nobody even ranked as high as J.J. McCarthy. Where did he go last year? He was like the last quarterback pick, wasn't he? In the first round.
I thought Bo Nix was the last quarterback drafted.
J.J. McCarthy was picked very late in the first round last year, if not even the second round. And they're saying he's better than any quarterback in this draft class. So there's not much talent there.
He either went 11th overall or 10th overall. I think he went 10th overall.
Excuse me.
All right, that's enough rumble. Good job by Neil. Taking on Allen. Purple belt Mike. I will say the best rumbles are when Neil is going at it with Allen. Like that's the heavyweight fight right there. All right, that is Ali Frazier on this show as far as rumbles go. That's the best matchup we've had. But give credit to Neil for hanging in there. Allen. Purple belt Mike. Even though Allen was just trashing me nonstop on Bobby's show today, that scoundrel. Bad guy. Not a soul actually likes Allen. You all pretend like you might enjoy him because he ruffles feathers. You don't like him. I know it. You know it. It's fine. Hennessy writes in, Neil still wants A-Rod, but thinks Sauce sucks. Hennessy says, Allen don't care who the quarterback is, then don't criticize. Hennessy says, this team would love a Jaden Daniel more, Neil. I agree. Hennessy, thank you. Sam says Fields would somehow get better here. Run it back. I mean, we don't know who the coaching staff is. I'm not just running it back because we don't know if Fields would come here and do well. Like that's not a justification for bringing 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers back next year. All right, let's end our show with one of the greats. Craig in Australia closes out tonight. Craig, hello, sir.
I need a Valium. I don't know about you. That was heavy going.
I need a boomerang, and I got one right here.
I don't actually know if I can declare a winner there. Not entirely sure.
I think we all lose because the Jets stink. That's really the problem.
Well, I come bearing good news. There's only 1 week to go. So,
dude, it's so funny. I posted a short today, and I'm like, the only positive from the season is that it's almost over.
It's almost over. That's right. And are you rooting for anyone in particular in the playoffs, or are you disillusioned sufficiently that you just don't care? Where are you at?
I'd like to see the Lions or the Vikings win. I'd be happy for Sam. I'd be thrilled for the city of Detroit. I'd love to see the Bills get eliminated early, and anyone that beats the Chiefs.
Home.
So that's kind of what I'm looking for.
No, I'm inclined to agree. Now we have our first Asmaniac coming to Australia in February. And the question I have for Asmania is, do I need to be at the airport with camera in hand for this moment? So we might need to have like a Discord poll on this. I think I know the answer, but we should probably put it to the Asmaniacs. But this is an exciting moment, and we're going to have an epic event at my place.
I love that.
His arrival.
It's
going to be huge, and I'm going to live stream it on Discord and everything. It's going to be crazy.
The answer is yes. And for those who don't know, the Great Hawk, the greatest Zach Wilson truther in the U.S., will be truthing in the great country and I guess continent as well of Australia.
We are our own continent. It's true. Good news about the Zach Wilson truthing thing is nobody here knows who that is. So Hawk's not going to pay any kind of a price for that. Yeah, he can talk about it, but we'll have to take him to the cricket. We're going to have to take him to the football. It's going to be, Aussie this, Aussie that. So I think he'll have a good time. Also, Chiefs fan, is he actually in Missouri? Where is he coming from?
We don't know.
Do we know? Okay.
Southern Illinois, I think he has said. He could be anywhere.
Okay, up there.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Word to the wise, if you're flying United, fly into Newark. And whatever you do, if you catch a taxi, keep an eye on him and make sure he takes the Lincoln Tunnel, not the Holland Tunnel. That is the long, long, long way. That happened to us on our last trip. Even Mrs. Craig's like, what the hell? This isn't right. And then we got stuck in grinding our way up 6th Avenue all the way to our house on 47th Street. So that's my advice. Also, there's not many gas stations in Manhattan, so probably don't need to ask Gary about where to get pizza. Your guy in Manhattan is Nate. All right, Nate lives my life over there. Basically, he checks on my house, he checks on my hood in the kitchen on a regular basis, keeping it keeping it clean for us. So, and have you got plans for New Year's Eve? You're going to see the ball drop? What's going on?
I will be back on Long Island for it, so I will not be seeing the ball drop. However, if I did, I'd need to buy a diaper because I don't know if you know this. Once you pass through security where the ball is dropping,
you can't
leave. That's it. You got to just pee your pants.
And you have to get there early. You got to spend the whole day there.
Oh yeah.
Now, if you ever do see the ball drop, I can go one further. I can mail you a urinary catheter that you can put in, and then you don't have to do the diaper. So, and I'm glad to hear you're going to be on Long Island, not in.
Right. You know it.
All very good. All right, mate. I have to get some shit done around here. We're going to survive through to next week. I don't know how, but I will be up at 4:30 a.m. to suffer one last time. It will happen.
Is it later for you because the game is 4:25 our time instead of 1? I don't know if you saw that.
Oh no, I didn't. So was that always like that, or was that flexed?
It got moved. The game means something for the Dolphins. So what the NFL does,
it does.
The teams that have playoff implications, they play in the 4 Eastern window, and that's why it's at 4:25.
I got you. Fair enough. I mean, look, it goes without saying, because I couldn't give a shit about the draft personally. Goes without saying, to give them a black eye would be awesome. Not confident, but we'll see. Just get it over with, as I said, and go into the off season. Look, at least next year, no expectations. You know what I mean? So it
Sure.
won't be as bad. If we're 4 and 13 next year, it just won't be as bad. It'll be bad, but it won't be as bad.
Yeah, it might
So
not hurt
we'll wait
as
and
much
see.
as this year, but
Hmm.
it will still hurt. But you're not wrong.
It will still hurt, and we will still willingly take it. Will
Yep.
we not?
That we're addicted.
We just will.
It's
I don't
horrible.
know how this happened to me. No one told me. I don't know why. I went to MetLife in 2018. No one said to me, "Listen, mate, this is a bad idea." So I don't know. We've
Well,
got to
what's
blame
funny
somebody.
is it's not like you could have picked like the Giants and been better off. Like they've been just as bad. It's like if you just became a Giants fan in 2018, you would basically be seeing the same. You would see one playoff season. That's it. It wouldn't be that much different.
And I wouldn't be on this show, and I
No.
wouldn't have all these friends, and we wouldn't have a certain hawk coming to Australia. That wouldn't have happened either, when you think about it.
That is true. You're not wrong.
It's crazy. And also, I said to you, don't worry about the team being shit as far as the channel goes. It's not going to matter. You're going to keep going up because this channel is more than the team. It's way more than the team. Just take the last couple of calls as an amazing example. So you got nothing to worry about. In that regard, we'll always look after you. Always, always, always.
Craig, you're the man. I always appreciate when you call in. And man, God bless you. Still getting up at 4:30 in the morning to watch this team this year. One of these days,
I don't know what to tell you.
One of these days, it'll be worth it. I sure. At least you got to see the home opener with us. You saw Rodgers' best moment as a Jet, so you always will have that.
That was one of the greatest days ever. The tailgate, the weather, the game, the expectation for the rest of the season because it was only the third game, and we all thought it's trending up. It's starting to click. This is what we all said, And look, we had that moment. That's all we have at this point for now.
That's it.
Is moments
That's right.
and hope. All right,
Craig, keep
See you,
killing
mate.
it, man. Appreciate you.
Ciao.
Craig in Australia checking in. I mean, at least Craig got to see the home opener win and the full tailgate experience in L5. I mean, at least we had that. Dr. Frank Falcone, did I win the Super Bowl III ring, Jake? Frank, unfortunately, you did not. You did not. That went to Mimosa and Rick Kent. But I got some good news for you, Frank. I'm trying to acquire more of those rings because they obviously were a huge hit. So stay tuned. Our next raffle will feature some other memorabilia, a Jet mini helmet, Jet winter hat, merch store stuff, and more. All right, that's enough broadcasting today. I did 4 hours of radio, 2.5 earlier, 2.5 now. I'm nuts. All right, I'm crazy. Great super chat here from Addison at the buzzer. The Thrilla in Asmilla. Neil versus Allen in the Asmaniac Rumble. Yeah, well said. Thank you again to everyone. You guys are the best. Please like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Tomorrow, I'm on the radio at 6 in the morning. So download the ESPN New York app or put on 8:80 a.m. if you're in the tri-state area. We'll be live at 11 a.m. for our first show tomorrow with Robbie Sabo. So I'm looking forward to that. I got 3 great guests joining me. Met fans, Terry Collins, 7:35. Entourage fans and just sports fans, Jerry Ferrara joining me at 8:30. He played Turtle on the hit show Entourage. He was also on the show Power, and he's got a new podcast out with Heisman Trophy winner Matt Leinart. And Jets linebacker Jamie Sherwood joins the program tomorrow at 9:30. So 3 great guests. Tune in then. Once again, my name is Jake Asman. God bless you all. Thanks for watching the program. I wish you all a wonderful evening. Enjoy the Monday night game between the Lions and the Niners. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Jets. Jets.
So we're going to get into all of it here. Again, my name is Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. We come 2 hours after every final whistle here for the postgame show. And I'm going to be honest. The only good thing that happened to me late tonight, early this morning, was making sweet, passionate love to my fiance, which I did after the article was written and that kind of stuff. That's the only good thing that happened. Not great. Terrible.
Hey, congrats on the sex.